tale. Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Well, hi folks. I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday. I hope it's a good one for you all. And hey, welcome to the Sty Shack. Good old Sty Shack Sundays. Gotta have them, gotta have them. Now, I'm going to shout out the folks out in the chat real quick. First person that popped in was Shane M., but he can't be here today. And he's going to be here next Sunday. That's cool. That's cool. And then JCT hopped in and said hello early, well before the stream started. And Metal Music Maniac says, it's too cold outdoors to grill bratwurst and hamburgers today. Best to just stay indoors and dust off the George Foreman grill. Well, that's one way to get around it, ain't it? But you know what? I took a little walk out to the street today just to see how our street is melting. It's a balmy 41 degrees here. I get out to the street and I look down the street, and there's a fella down the street. He's a stock car racer. He's out there, his wife and his two kids, and the one kid's still in a stroller for crying out loud. And they got the grill going out in the front of their house. He snow blowed out a big area early in the season, kept it clear, and it's all melted down, and there's grass there, and they got the grill going, and you can see the smoke coming off the grill. They're out there grilling. So welcome to Wisconsin. I'm surprised they're not in shorts and t-shirts or down at the beach already with an ice chisel. I mean, yeah, people in Wisconsin are goofy that way. And there's Justin Anderson 218. There's my sausage man. I still got that one big piece sitting in the freezer, man. I stare at it almost every day, and I go, take it out. I'm going, no, I'm saving that for a special occasion. Darn right. That's probably going to come up pretty soon. Hey, there's former firefighter, Orlando, Florida. And he's saying, what's up, guys, on this sunny 88 degrees Sunday afternoon, sipping on a cold beverage? You just heard me, didn't you? Yeah, it's a balmy 41 degrees here. Yeah, get out the lawn chairs, put on the SPF 50 because of this wonderful sun. Oh, yeah. People in Florida. There's Kirk Weber Voyager Center. There's Tim. How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. And we got Kimberly Ferris came in the house. Good to see you, sweetie. And there's JCT jumping back in. Hi, Sty. JCT, you're a sweetheart. Step Van Dan. There's my man. Yeah. And he lives what I call next door over in Minnesota. Yeah. So they don't have it much warmer than us, if at all. And let's see who else we got in here. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. That's so good. And there's real Robert, the real Robert Rockwell, not the fake one, the real one. Great to see you, Robert. Okay. Anybody else sneak in here on us? Um, There's the guy I'm going to be talking about. Hey, it's the cookie thief. You know why he's saying, hey, it's the cookie thief? Him and I, we did lunch together. Well, late lunch, early dinner. And we went to a Chinese place here in town. And what a blast. What a blast. We spent a couple hours together. And oh my gosh, that was so much fun, Cheesehead. And yes, I am the cookie thief. He got the leftover crab ragoons. I grabbed the fortune cookies, stuffed them in my pockets. He don't need that fortune cookie. He's watching his blood sugar. I'm not. So I took the fortune cookies. But he had this awesome combination fried rice that had all kinds of different meats in it and all the Chinese veggies in the fried rice. And when he got his order and they took the lid off that thing, I'm going, oh my God, they sent him enough for 4 people. But oh, it looks so good. But I got the shrimp egg foo young. Why did I get that? Each one of those egg foo young with the gravy on them, 710 calories. I got to keep my weight on. So I had the shrimp egg foo young. And we loved it. We loved the visit. It was awesome. It was so good to see Cheesehead in person. We haven't been in person together for such a long time. And we're talking about things we'll do later this spring after the ice is out on the lake and we got open water and it's warm. We're going to get together at a lakeside spot he knows of. And we're going to have us a lunch together, I'm sure. I'm very much so looking forward to that. So with that, that's everybody out in the chat. I think I hit every one of you. Yeah, former firefighters grilling hot dogs, hamburgers, and barbecue ribs. I'll be there in about 10 minutes. No, I don't think they could fly that fast. I wish I could be there. But I got a sweetheart in the basement. I got to pull her up. I can't leave her sitting down in the basement. Come on up. There she is.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Gemma.
You too. It's always a pleasure to be here and see everyone on this Sunday evening for me.
Yeah, evening for you.
Yeah.
We should do me and G said should do a stream by the river. I'm not good at doing live streams with my phone, and I don't know how Cheesehead is for doing it. Because now, thank goodness, with StreamYard, if you use StreamYard, you can allow a guest on the panel to live stream that panel while they're on the panel to their own channel. So
yes,
that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I want to let anybody know if you're on my panel and you want to live stream to your panel. I can't remember the steps, but there's a way to do it. We'll figure it out as we go, kind of thing. But that's kind of cool. So I don't know that we'll do a live stream, but we'll do some video work. At least I will. That. Yeah. But doing videos with Cheesehead, the way I see it, can be risky. Because we went to what's called the Dynamite Shack. It's way out in the woods. It's an old dynamite shack made out of concrete and stone. They stored dynamite in it. probably the 1920. The Civilian Conservation Corps, they were doing road building and all that kind of stuff. And they had
Yeah.
dynamite shacks. And this dynamite shack has been abandoned forever. I mean, it's been abandoned now for about close to 100 years. Well, Cheesehead knows where it is, and we got in there, and it's on, I believe that's federal land. I'm not positive. But Cheesehead and his family had some kind of rights set up that they could use it. Well, we went out there, and I don't know if anybody's got any problems with the stream freezing former firefighter, because everything on my end is going smooth.
Yeah, everything on my end's going
I'm
good. It's not
looking at-
freezing on mine.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube output, the YouTube side of it, and it's not locking up or freezing.
No, it's not on my end either.
Okay, good.
On my end.
Since 2017. Oh, you talked about the Civilian Conservation Corps. Civilian Conservation Corps actually, depending on the divisions, some of them ran right into the late 1930s. But establishment was about 2000 what's 2017? She's saying, oh, she's not talking about that. Okay, I get it. But so we're out there at that dynamite shack, and Cheesehead's making this hobo stew on the campfire, and it turned out awesome. It was great, and I'm filming it, and he's filming, and we're both filming. We get done with the day. We had another fella stop by, got to visit with him, filmed everything. Get done at the end of the day, and Cheesehead and I are ready to head out. Well, this is way back in the woods. I had to put my rig in 4-wheel drive to drive up in there to get up to this dynamite shack. We pack everything up, and we're heading out.
Yeah.
Well, I got distracted, get in my truck, and I go home. Now, mind you, it's almost an hour's drive home. I get home, and I go, oh, my God. My camera was on the roof of my truck. I took off with my camera sitting up on the roof of the truck. Problem was, my camera, I knew it had to have fallen off around the dynamite shack when I was backing around, turning around, and heading out of there. There's no way it made it down out of there. But where at that dynamite shack it fell off, God knows. So I messaged Cheesehead and told him, lost my camera. It fell off the truck. He says, I'll go looking for it. And I said, it's going to be tough to find. I said, I'm going to come down there probably tomorrow or the next day, go looking for it. He headed right out there to look for it. And he messaged me and he says, what's it look like? I'm trying to find it, but what's it look like? I said, it's going to be a little tough. It's camouflage. And everything's green. Everything out there is green. It's green, everything. And here he's trying to find a camouflage camera. He found it. We set up another outing to do. And I said, I'll grab the camera from you then. He said, okay, that works. Well, I went to that other outing, and I did a video of that one. So did he, I believe. And he brought me the camera. And the case, the camera was actually inside of a camouflage case, and the camera itself was camouflage. And I couldn't remember if I had the camera in the case or not. Well, he had both of them. But the case had all of these bright green, fluorescent green, ribbons tied all over it. And I go, what the hell did you do to my case? And he goes, check, make sure the camera's okay. I took camera. That is all wrapped and got these strings of bright green fluorescent tape tied around the camera.
Yeah.
And he goes, and leave it on there in case you drop it in the woods ever again. Because I don't remember how long it took him. It took him like an hour and a half or more of searching just this small area up there in the woods to find that camera.
Yeah.
So I have kind of bad luck filming with Cheesehead. So yeah, we'll film when we get together at it's a river spot. It's actually the spot he's talking about is on the river.
Yeah.
We're going to go early enough in the season that we don't have to deal with the kayakers and the canoe, the people that are out there with their canoes. The paddlers like to use that spot, take breaks there, put their boats in there and stuff. But otherwise, kind of off season, you just walk down in there and there's nobody around. Yeah, I'm trying to yep. So yeah, it's been a weird week for me. I hope everybody else's week went good. I had my chemotherapy 2 weeks ago. So last Sunday was the Sunday after I had my chemo. And I wasn't feeling too good during the stream last Sunday, but I loved the stream. The stream was awesome. I just loved it, man. Yeah, it took days for me to get kind of over the stream because, everybody it was so fun. But all week I was miserable. I mean, pain management was a bitch. I had a very hard time managing the pain last week. And the fatigue was so bad. And I still feel it even today, a week later. I can't do much more than take care of myself, and make myself meals, and I can walk out to the street, back, go hang out on the porch for a little bit each day. But that's it. I go to Walmart and it's like I put in an 8-hour day. Just spending an hour, just an hour or two going to the grocery store and back, and I'm burned out. It's not good. It's not it. The side effects were bad enough last week that I was supposed to have chemotherapy now tomorrow, but then I looked it up on Friday. My appointment's not there. They didn't make an appointment for me for tomorrow. So no chemo tomorrow. But they got an appointment for me on the 3rd of April, the following week. And then they have another appointment for me to get that chemo the following week after that. Bumper to bumper. There's supposed to be a week in between each one of those. So every 2 weeks I get the chemo. The way they got it scheduled now, I'll get it every week for 2 weeks in a row. It ain't happening. I'd rather die. Because I'd rather die with a smile on my face than have what I went through in this last bout of chemo for. It'll be 3.5 weeks before I get over it. And I don't like, if I have to do 2 weeks bumper to bumper, I believe it's I can take a quick peek at the dates here. It would be the 16th of April. There wouldn't be a Sunday stream. I know for a fact that because I'd have chemo for 2 weeks in a row before the 16th of April. I won't even want to get up and go to the restroom, let alone get up and fix something to eat. I know if they do that to me, I won't be able to stream. I won't be able to physically do it. I'll sure want to, but I won't be able to physically come in here and sit in the studio and do it. So I'm going to fight like hell with my doctor a week from tomorrow to make damn sure they don't do that to me. They can't. They're not taking my quality of life away from me, and this is a big part of it. Being here
Yeah, of
every
course
Sunday.
it- we enjoy having our routine on a Sunday. You know, it's
Yeah.
everyone knows live at certain time, and it's part of my routine. Seeing you, it's like, oh, Sunday evening, I get ready, I have my dinner, have my drink, get onto my laptop, sit in my room, and I'm like, I'm done, I'm
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
And that's my
Good for
routine.
the
So
rest. Yeah. Good good and ready to go for the evening. Yeah. And that's it.
yeah,
So many of our followers, the viewers out here, yeah, you see them every week. You see them every week. And it's because they know they can come here and hang out, chat, catch up with each other. And
yeah, absolutely.
it's quiet out in the chat right now, but I hope it picks up a little bit. What's
I
everybody
hope
up to?
so.
How are things have been going? The
It's like around the world starting from tomorrow. I don't know if you know, Uncle Sty or anyone in the chat. Tomorrow until the 2nd of April is World Autism Acceptance Week. Starts tomorrow. So there's going to be a
yeah.
lot of new content coming up on my
Oh wow.
channel with autism. So hey,
Yeah, I
Foxy.
it's good to see you, Foxy lady. Yep. The I was going to mention that because I saw that. I try to keep up with what's this week about. And
Yeah,
you get that you get some of the weird ones. It's such and such a week, and you go, "Oh, you really? They get a week? What the heck? What's that about?"
yeah.
But you know, but
Hey,
oh,
Sam.
Samantha Lee, sweetie. Oh, God, it's good to see you, girl.
Hey, Nabal.
Oh, the ball, awesome. It's so good to see you guys. The
He had a really good stream earlier. The bowl was at a carnival in France where he lives, and he was showing us the streets, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
isn't that isn't that neat though? Isn't that neat that
Yeah,
people
it's cool.
share their region where they live? They share that with us. I can't go there. I can't
Yeah,
see that. And if they didn't do it, I would never see it. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the creators from other countries and showing me their country, their lifestyles, their events, things that are going on. I love it. I just love it. The places I can't go, and
yeah,
now it wouldn't matter if I had the money or not. I couldn't go. So my chance to go some of those places has come to an end. Except if I jump on here, so many of my friends around the world, I can go to their channels and see what it's like to be there. And what better presenters than my friends?
yeah.
It's like I'm going with them. Loopy
Absolutely.
Lisa.
There'll be activities that I'm going to be getting up to this week for the World Autism Week. I'll be going out to a couple of autism conferences and things like that. So I'll be filming that when I go out. There's a autism fun day as well, which is going to be like a carnival of like fun fair rides and things like that. So I'm going
Oh,
to film
neat.
myself going to that as well. So
The Nibble, you're absolutely right. And I like your very last comment there. And it's free. Oh yeah. Do you know what it cost me an airfare to come over and go to a carnival with you? Yeah. Well, that wouldn't be good. But boy, it's free if I sit on here and let you take me along by videoing what you're doing. That's you betcha.
yeah,
You betcha. The experiences I've had through Gemma and others out of the UK, Norway, Sweden, all of Western Europe. If I were to figure out what it would cost me to go enjoy those things that they shared with me, if I tallied up the airfare to go see all those things, it wouldn't be tens of thousands. It'd be $100,000+.
Yeah, I should imagine.
I mean, that ain't never happening. I mean,
No.
right out loud. Yeah, Donald Trump. I ain't. I ain't jumping on some plane going wherever the hell I want. Oh hell, my passport expired about 12 years ago, and I was
Yeah,
asking
luckily
them
mine's still in date.
for a trip into Canada, do I have to have my passport? And they said you got to have your passport and or the U.S. certified driver's license, which
Yeah.
I was going to get, but I can't find my damn birth certificate. So I'm going to have my daughter. She's close enough that she can get it for me, and
Yeah.
Get my birth certificate, get my passport, just in case I feel well enough to cross the Canadian border before I can't travel anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, Laurie, it is great
Hey,
to
Laurie.
see you. Great to see you. Yeah, you don't
I think it's like you
experience
said,
it like a
to
local,
show
but
people.
at least we get to experience some of
Yeah, I
it.
think when you take people along with you on videos, like when I try and take you out to like my hometown, or when I'm doing like my camping videos, which I did thanks to Sty, because when I was going camping, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe just over.
Yeah,
I
it
did some
was
camping
a good
videos.
2 years.
Yeah, and now I'm looking forward to it because I know when I go camping again this year, I'm going to take my phone and my camera, and I'm going to vlog the whole thing from start to finish, vlogging me putting up the tent, doing the breakfast, and actually showing what it's like on a British campsite, because campsites can be huge.
Well, that one that you did the video work on the first time you went,
Yeah.
that was a good sized campground. That was a good
Yeah,
size.
that was a fishing like campsite. That was
Right.
yeah. My uncle's a member there, so we get to go there because he likes to fish a lot. So we go there.
Sure.
Like I actually caught my first fish there, but I accidentally killed it because I couldn't get the hook out in time, and it was flopping about on me, and I'm like, ah. My uncle said, "It's all right. Everyone makes that little mistake, Gemma." But I cried. I was like, "Oh no, I killed a fish."
I killed a fish.
It's about this big, and I sobbed. I was like, I felt really bad. I was like, oh. And my uncle said, "It's one mistake, Gemma. It's not that you did it on purpose." I was like, "No, I was trying to get the hook out, and it just wasn't coming out." And I was like, "Oh."
Samantha Lee, I wish I could go to Alaska. My doctor and I, we've been talking it through. The only way I could do it is if I could swing the airfare to Anchorage and have you come pick me up. But the round trip airfare is an issue, but I would maybe be able to get around that. But the biggest problem is, he said that the travel itself would have to be on one of my good weeks, and that I would most likely feel pretty ill during the trip. He said no matter what they tell you, they do pressurize the airplanes, but they don't pressurize it at ground level pressure. He says there is a pressure, less pressure when you're flying. Well, I knew that because I actually got the bends after scuba diving and getting on an airplane. They got to 20,000 feet, and I started screaming, man. I started screaming. I was in so much pain. It's the hydrogen in my blood turned into bubbles, and that can kill you. And I was lucky the pilot got authorization to fly at 10,000 feet for the rest of the flight. And it was a smooth flight, so it was good that we were at 10,000. Good
Yeah.
flight. But when he got down to 10,000 feet, those symptoms backed way off, and I got through it. Got through it all right. Um, and then when I got off the plane right away, went to see a doctor about it. Went to the hospital, went to an emergency room, and
Yeah.
they said, well, they said that my system was reabsorbing that nitrogen, and that I wouldn't have to go in. Otherwise, they would have had to put me in an iron lung to decompress me.
Yeah.
To get that, to force that back into my system. But I was fortunate. Didn't have to get into an iron lung. But that's because the plane isn't the same pressure as ground level. So he said, you're going to feel miserable when you get to Anchorage, and it'll probably last for 2-3 days. The problem is, with your flight up there, you're only going to have about 3 days, maybe 4 days. You got to get back on that plane, get your butt back here to Wisconsin, and be ready for chemo the following Monday. And he said, you'll come into chemo with severe, in a sense, jet lag. And he says, your chemo is going to be really rough after that, the one after it. He said, so he said, I want you to go to Alaska, but I don't want you to go through what you're going to have to go through to do it. And But I'll tell you what, Samantha Lee, you get down near my neck of the woods, I need to know where you are, if we're close enough where we can meet up, Yeah, just plan on being hugged for about an hour. It would be awesome. It would be so awesome. Yeah, flights to Alaska are long and tedious, she says. Yeah, they are. Over the years, there were times I'd fly from Wisconsin, I'd fly to Palm Springs, California, spend 4 or 5 days in Palm Springs, jump on a plane straight to Washington, D.C., all the way across the continent. And then from there, spend 4 or 5 days in Washington, hop on the plane and fly right to Wisconsin. You talk about getting sick of flying. Oh my gosh. I hated those. Hey, Owen, there's my grandson.
Hi, Owen.
Yeah. It says, hello there. And then it says hand, pink, waving. Because he used the pink
the
emoji.
pink hand. Yeah, I had someone use that the other day in chat.
It's funny that they print that out that way. Oh, where am I located? Okay. Now, Nabul, if you look at the U.S. map, find the state of Wisconsin. It's way up north, right on Lake Superior, the biggest lake there. Lake Superior. Wisconsin's right on Lake Superior. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 5 city blocks from that big lake, from Lake Superior. In fact, if I walk out on the street and I look down the street, I can see Lake Superior. I'm as far north as you can get without getting your feet wet. And it's Ashland, Wisconsin. So if you look at Wisconsin, you hone it down to its cities, it's Ashland, Wisconsin. Now, I used to live even farther north. You'll see that there's a point of land that goes up, and there's a bunch of islands around that point. And those are the Apostle Islands. That's all national lakeshore. That's a preserve. I mean, very few people ever even get to camp on those islands. You got to have a permit, blah, blah, blah. But I used to live right up on that point of land. Right at the tip of that point. And that's where my outdoor wilderness camp was. Look at here. Skylar! Hi, Atlas, Eden, and I love you. I love you three too. I love all of you down there. That's family. That's my granddaughter-in-law. But I tell
Oh,
you
okay.
what, I tell you what, uh,
Hi, Skylar. Nice name. It's really pretty.
she is a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. She, her, and my oldest daughter, who is her mother-in-law, and Owen, those three,
Okay.
they were a huge part in Sty being here today. They got me all the way down to Rochester, Minnesota, 4.5 hour drive, 5 hour drive from here for my medical appointments in Rochester and my surgery, that major surgery I went through. If it wasn't for them getting me
Yeah.
there and getting me home, none of that would have happened. And they said, without removing that esophageal cancer, that they would have had to have tube fed me the rest of my life, and my life expectancy would have only been 6 months. So I had to have the surgery to be here today.
Yeah.
And they made it happen. They made it happen. If without them, I would have never been able to have it done. So, Skylar, especially, oh my God, she'd drive all the
Yeah.
way up here to Ashland, pick me up, turn right around, we'd head back. The one time I was feeling well enough, I told her, I can drive for a while. I can drive for a while. And she said, well, okay, we'll let you start out. And then when you get tired, just let me know and I'll take over. Well, she drove all the way up here. I ended up driving all the way there and enjoyed every bit of it. She kept saying, um, she had another one of my grandson's fiancées,
Yeah.
I guess you could call her, with her. It was the two gals. And I took them out to lunch that day to a kind of a tree hugger kind of restaurant. I mean, a lot of
Oh.
organic, all organic kind of foods and stuff, except that restaurant had its own little bakery in it. Oh, that stuff. I mean, all the rest, everything on their menu is healthy. Everything's healthy, healthy, healthy. And it was good
Yeah.
food. It was good food. And the gals found out overhearing our conversation that I had cancer and I was on the way to the Mayo. Um, and I was going to be put under a severe surgery, and that was literally going to be my last actual meal.
Yeah.
I'll have a snack that night, but that's it. The gals in that.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt. The gals in that restaurant, they spread the word. That fellow over there at that table's got cancer and he might not make it and he's going for a major surgery that's got like a 50-50 survival rate chance to it. We should make him happy. So they put a bag
Oh.
together with all of these baked goods in it. There was a couple of cookies in there and a couple of these. Oh, they're kind of like turnovers, cream cheese and cherry, and the other one was
Oh,
cream
that
cheese
sounds
and blueberry.
delicious.
And I got to my hotel room that night. It's just me, and I'm thinking, God, I feel hungry. I can't eat after mid. I can't eat after midnight, and it's getting pretty close. And then I remembered that bag. I went and I opened that bag and I took everything out, and I'm going, oh boy, oh boy. So I ate all four, the both cookies and both of those turnover things, and they were to
Yeah.
die for. They were to die for. But out of the goodness of their heart, they gave them to me. And on the way out, I'm looking at their menu, the price of those things. Each one of them are like $2.50 a piece. This place wasn't cheap. $2.50 a piece. So they
Yeah.
gave me $10 of sweets on the
Yeah.
house. And that was very, very kind of them. I had
Yeah.
an And an individual left an envelope in my mailbox out here, and with a note in it and $100 bill, and it said, "This is our way of saying thank you for snow blowing the sidewalk here
Yeah.
on the avenue from end to end." Well, I was doing it anyway. I mean, you don't have to pay me for something I'm going to do anyway. And but they give me $100, and whoever the guy was, he signed just his first name.
Yeah.
And if I recall right, it's Bernard, something like Bernard. And I couldn't figure out who the heck it is, but I think I'm wise to him.
Aw.
It's a fellow that walks his dog past here once a day. He walks past here with his dog, and several times I've been sitting out on the porch and catch him walking by, and we've chatted just a little bit, and
Yeah.
he always said, "Oh, I like walking through here because the sidewalk's completely clear, and I hate walking my dog out on that street." Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. And that's why we snow blow the whole sidewalk. It's all it's darn near a full city block long, but it's not hard to do. It's just one pass down, one pass back with the snow blower. And but he gave me $100. So I got mad at Cheesehead when we went out for dinner last week. The gal brings the tab for the meal. I snatched it that night. I'm holding it. And he's oh, no. And I'm going, yeah. And she goes, "Oh, he won it because he like you. I'm listening to her, and that bugger reaches over and snatches it away from me. Well, he wouldn't give it back. I told him, "Come on." I had this guy give me $100 for snow blowing. That is my snow blowing anyway. He paid me to do what I'm supposed to do. And I said, I was going to buy us dinner with that. He goes, "No, you ain't buying nothing. Plus, it's just another thing I can hold over your head. You owe me. You owe me." He does that all the time. And some people
He does that because he loves you. You're his friend. Like, he doesn't want you spending the money. Like, if I was over there getting to meet you, damn well sure I would not let you pay for a thing. Hell no.
and I'll be the first to admit it.
You're special to me.
I am just not good at accepting things that are just given.
Neither am I. You've taught me about that on several occasions.
If I truly need it, I would ask for it.
Yeah,
If I need something from a certain friend or somebody, I would ask.
Yeah, of course.
But just like I told my nurse last week, she said, "Well, we need to get somebody in here to help you do this and help you do that." I said, "No, you don't. It ain't happening." And she goes, "But it's such a burden with your pain management, you having to do this. And if we could get somebody to help you do those things, then you don't have to deal with." I said, "So I'm going to sit on my butt and watch somebody do something I can do." I said, "I can't do it as fast as, nowhere near as fast as I used to. It's going to take but a while to get a certain task done. But I can still do it. It just takes me longer. So no, I don't need somebody to come and do that for me. If I can't do it, and you said, 'Oh man, we need to get somebody here to do that for you,' then I would say, I could accept that because I can't do it. I just can't do it. If I can't, I can't. But I don't ask someone to come and do things for me. I'll do what I can do.
yeah, it's taking away your independence. Like you're used to doing certain things and being told, oh, let's get
Yeah.
someone in here to help you. That's like my nan, for example, recently with her situation. They suggested that she gets a carer in twice a day to just do her general medications and do
Sure.
a bit of tidying up so that she doesn't have to do it. And she flipped. She was like, she sat there with her arms like this. She was
You're gonna have a fit about
83
it.
years old, and she got so defensive. She's like, I can do that. She, but yeah, I may be old and a bit slow. I can still do it. Don't treat me like a dummy. She's like, get out. I was like,
Oh boy.
and she literally, the carers were like this. I'm like, you heard her. Get out. She doesn't want you here.
You know, when it gets to the point where she absolutely needs it, then offer it.
Then then we'll reassess. But right now, she's like, no.
But if she can still do it and she's getting by, let her be happy in that and do it. That's the way I feel. Another thing,
I think people need to realize that, because they're too quick to go, oh, you can't do this, you need help. No.
Yeah.
And my nan's proved that to me. I'm like, I thought she did need help a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, let me come around and help you. Like, let me do some chores for you. Like, I'll come around and do the washing up and do your groceries. And she's like, Gemma, and she looked at me. I was like, oh no, here we go. I'm gonna get a lecture. And she's like, I'm not stupid, Gemma. I'm 83 years old. I can still do things. Don't treat me like I'm stupid. That's insulting. I was like, I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to help you and actually be helpful. She's like, you're treating me like a child. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't mean to.
Now, some of you might be shocked by this. Some of you might agree with this. But I've had, just in the last, I'd have to say in the last year since I've been ill, I've had 5 different individuals tell me, you don't know what you're talking about. You're getting old. That ain't the way it is. And you don't know how it is. And things are different today than what you're talking about. And I always tell them, no, listen to yourself, asshole. What I'm doing is I'm comparing the world of today, what's going on in the world today, to my life, to what I've seen through the years. That's what I'm doing, is comparing the two. And I can't do that if I'm not current with today's affairs. And they go, no. You got to keep in mind, you're not as sharp as you used to be. How fucking dare you say that to me?
Oh, that's irritating.
Oh, and I told them, I said, I have absolutely no problem articulating any issue. We can get into any issue you want. History, religion, science, all of those things. And I can tell you what they're talking about today. And I can tell you what we talked about back in 1960s and 70s. So how dare you question my state of mind? Boy, don't ever fucking go there. Don't ever go there. Don't ever treat me like I'm simple-minded, like I'm losing it. He's senile. Because I'm not.
You're not. Far from. Oh my God. I'd never treat you like that. No, never.
Yeah.
That's just mean and rude.
Yeah, Lori, you're absolutely right. Doesn't that just piss you off? Yeah, you're right. Hey, Justin, I like that. Is everyone in chat keeping out of trouble on this fine Sunday? Trying to.
Lori, like you say about doesn't that annoy people? I have this done to me a lot. Like Sty knows. Like I have people all the time who will tell me, Gemma, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't really understand things because of how your autism is and stuff. I'm like, don't you dare undermine me. Like, I'm not thick. I'm not stupid. I'm certainly not dumb.
Right.
Like, I may not understand some things, but I'm not thick. I'm very intelligent when it comes to a lot of things.
But you're inquisitive. You're very inquisitive, and you'll ask questions so that you have a better understanding. That tells your level of intelligence. When you're inquisitive and you say, I might be mistaken about this. Do you know anything about it? Yeah, can you? I've seen that in you
Yeah.
for years now. You're inquisitive. And if you're not inquisitive and you're not willing to ask questions, now I start saying, okay, they met their level of intelligent capacity. They don't want to learn
Yeah.
more. They don't want to learn more. But people that are open to learning more all the time and
Oh,
and
yeah. I'm
don't
constantly learning.
the hey native good
Hey,
time,
Carrie.
sweetie.
Hey,
So
hey.
the her and Matt are into it right away. Matt's saying trouble. I'm always an angel.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Matt.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And what does Native Kutza say to that? Quit lying,
Quit
Matt.
lying.
Yeah,
We all
Native
know
Kutza
you're a
knows Matt.
troublemaker, Matt.
Yeah, she knows Matt quite well. You better watch it, Matt.
So do I. I've known Matt like what 6 years in this
She'll let
planet.
the cat.
Just over.
She'll she'll definitely let the cat out of the bag on you, boy. Better watch what you say. uh, but yeah,
Yeah. I'm
I
definitely more
I
inquisitive than I used to be. That's for sure.
well, see, because you used to have certain inhibitions, you just didn't want to push that limit. But you've
Yeah.
changed so much over the years where you're
Oh
willing to
yeah.
push those boundaries and learn more and find out.
Oh gosh,
And
yeah.
and Justin Anderson, busted. uh, uh,
I think it's
uh,
good because it helps me to increase my knowledge, and also when it comes to certain things that upset me or I want to learn more about, I'm like, oh, actually, Gemma, you might be wrong on this occasion, or actually, Gemma, you've got your facts wrong. And then I go away and research it. I know when me and you've talked about things, I'm like, oh, okay, I was completely
oh,
wrong. I had the completely wrong mindset. So I've gone away and gone, oh, actually, yeah, what you said
yeah.
made total sense. I didn't realize, and it changes the discussion.
Let me, in a friendly way, correct you, Gemma. You were mistaken, that's all. You weren't
Yeah,
wrong. You knew what you knew, but there was more to know. And you found it.
yeah,
You went and found out the more to know. Now you're not mistaken anymore because you found it out.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
weren't
absolutely.
wrong. You weren't wrong. You were just
Yeah,
not
mistake.
totally
Yeah,
informed. So you
yeah,
were just mistaken.
mistaken.
The
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I that's one of my pet peeves, and that's another reason I know I'm not losing my marbles.
Oh God, no.
I I listen to people that that actually limit themselves and hold themselves back because others are telling them they're stupid. Others are
Oh
telling them
yeah, I've had that
you
happen to
don't know
me.
nothing and this and that. And I see the people that are hearing that directed at them back right off. And all of a sudden they get silent. They start to isolate themselves. They're missing out on the world because of what other people have to say about them. And what I say to those people that do that to others, that you're wrong, and you tell them, okay, fine, I'm wrong. I don't want to go there. Leave me alone. Let's change the topic, and they won't quit. You're wrong. You're
Yeah,
wrong. You're wrong. And you're going, stop, stop. Let's talk about something. No, you're wrong. Until you accept that you're wrong. What I'm saying is you think the way you want, I'll think the way I want, and let's move on to something different,
yeah.
something friendlier. And they refuse to do that. What I say to those people is F off, F off. I ain't got the time for you. I ain't got the time for guess what? If I'm as stupid as you take me to be, then I'll act stupid. Fuck off, asshole. I
Yep.
don't need you. I might still care about you, but I don't need you in my damn life if you're going to try to tear me down. I
Yep,
need
like my uncle
someone
tried
I
to
can
do to me a
talk
couple
to.
of weeks ago at a family meal. He tried to make me look like a complete dumbass in front of everyone at the restaurant. And he basically told my dad, he's like, look, Gemma is a bit slow. Gemma doesn't really understand social scene. She doesn't understand social language, da 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 da. And I'm like, excuse me, what? I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? I'm like, yes, I may struggle to understand language and what you're saying and processing it. Once I've processed it in my head and clicked it, and I'm like, this is what you're saying, this is my opinion, I'm
Right,
fine. But it just takes me a while to click it into my head. Once I click
right,
it, then I'm fine. And he's like,
right.
oh, well, you don't understand. I'm like, what, huh? What? I was like, see ya. I just walked off from him. I was just like, I'm not going to argue in a public restaurant. No way. It's just no point.
Yep, exactly. Hey,
Just
Matt,
walked off.
I like that one. He says, I'm just eating beer and drinking pizza. Yeah, I think you should have you should drink one less piece of pizza. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did I have to say? I had chicken wraps with my nephew for dinner earlier because my nephew was here earlier. So we had chicken wraps, fries, and then we shared a bottle of Pepsi with each other. And then he went home about 3 hours ago.
Uh, yesterday, I had a big beef enchilada and a bunch of fried or Spanish rice, just smothered in salsa and a little bit of sour cream.
Yeah.
I just about got that whole plate in me. I just had, I bet you I didn't have 4 bites left, but I couldn't, there was just no room to get the rest in me. It had to have been a pound and a half or more of food. Um, yeah, it was tough getting it in me, but I loved every frickin' bite. That's why I got so much in me.
Yeah.
Tonight, after the stream, I'm having spicy orange chicken. It's got a sweet,
Ooh.
the sweet, spicy, it's sweet and spicy glaze, orange glaze on the chicken. It's breaded chicken breast
Yeah, breaded. Yeah,
piece, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna have. It's almost like well, it's a rice pilaf kind
yeah.
of I'm having with it. Um, Looking forward to dinner tonight. I haven't
Nice.
eaten today
I
like
got
I
my
should,
dessert in
but
the fridge.
that's what I'm missing. I didn't get to the store yesterday. I wanted to get a couple of different desserts to have in the house. So they were here after my chemo tomorrow
Yeah,
because when I get chemo, I don't go to the store until the the Wednesday.
yeah.
So it would be until this coming Wednesday before at afternoon before I get to a store and sometimes I don't even go then. I don't feel up to it. So I wanted to stock up. So I was in a
Yeah.
panic about that. Oh no, I didn't get my desserts. I got this favorite fruit salad that this local deli makes, and there's another one. There's a couple of different ones that are just awesome. But then I realized I've got almost a whole cheesecake still in the fridge. So I've got
Yeah.
cheesecake. And then today when I figured it out and it all worked out, I don't have chemo tomorrow. So guess what tomorrow? Straight to the store, man. I'll go get my
Heck
desserts I
yeah.
wanted. And the I'm getting up bright and early tomorrow anyway, in case that stupid clinic calls and says, "We messed up. You got to be in here for your chemo." I'm going to be up and ready in case they call and say,
Okay. Yeah.
"We can't believe you're not here." No, I'm going to tell them. Then why on my chart isn't it scheduled as an appointment?
Yeah, it
It
wasn't
was not
scheduled.
there.
Yeah.
And I was smart enough. I printed it off.
Woohoo.
So they can't screw with me. I've got my appointments right here. That Show me where tomorrow is on this list, and it came
Not
from
on
them.
it.
They handed it to me, so I'm going by
Yeah,
this. Yeah, they'll have to live with it. I will. but
yeah.
if they
Oh,
want me to come in
Justin,
and do
Ritz
the
crackers.
Kino,
Oh,
I'll be ready.
yeah, I haven't had Ritz crackers in years, Justin. Oh my gosh, I used to have them all the time when I was a little
Oh,
girl. Oh my gosh.
we buy these big boxes. I think they got 6 or 8. I think it's
Yeah,
8 tubes of Ritz in it, in that
yeah,
big
that's what we
box.
have. Yeah,
And, and yeah, we
I
go
haven't
through
had them
one
in
of
years.
those.
I used to have the salted ones all the time. Little girl, my mum used to give them to me as a snack in my school lunchbox. I used to have them.
There you go, Matt. Sounds like a good pizza.
Oh,
Nummy.
that sounds like a good pizza, Matt.
The
I've actually got my dessert in the fridge. I got myself some fresh custard donuts from the store yesterday. So
Oh
I've got custard
no,
donuts.
they're custard filled. Oh, I'm gonna come raid your fridge. Are
I've got packs of them. I was like, they're on sale. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm having them.
they glazed with anything like
No,
chocolate or no? They're not
no,
glazed.
no, not
Okay,
glazed ones, just normal custard filled ones.
sure. Oh, I'm still
They're
game.
on sale. So I
I'm
was like,
still
heck
game.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love any custard filled what we call long johns or the donuts.
Yeah.
I go mad over them. The See over here, they growing up they called those Bismarcks, um,
Okay.
and then we had the long johns, which are long rectangular
Yeah, we
pastry.
have the long ones. We have the long donuts, and we also have the big circle chunky ones.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
I like the I like the big. We call them dunkers over here, but they're like a cake donut and they're frosted.
Yeah.
They got a glaze on them, not frosted. They're glazed, and
Yeah, we
you
have
can
glazed
get the
ones too. Yeah.
you can get the normal, just the plain donut ones, or you can get they've got apple cinnamon ones, they've got blueberry ones, and yeah,
Yeah, I think
that's
over
why
here we
that's
have
why
custard.
everybody that's why
Yeah, we
everybody in
have custard,
America.
blueberry, chocolate, raspberry, strawberry. I think the newest flavour I recently saw in the store and I went there yesterday was orange flavour filled ones.
Ooh,
But I haven't tried
no.
them yet.
I saved it, and I had my youngest son watch it the other day. He came to visit, and he watched that video, and he looked at me and he goes, "Damn it! Now I got to go home and do that." And it's a German video, and they're
Okay.
speaking German. They're speaking German, but fortunately, at the bottom, they're giving you the ingredients, but they're not giving it to you in English. The only thing that they do show is they go from the metric to the standard, you know, uh,
Yeah.
milliliters to ounces, blah blah blah. That's all that
Yeah.
you get. So they're using the German word in the closed
Yeah.
captioning, and we're sitting here on our phones translating.
Translating it. Yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah.
and he's writing down all the ingredients, we're translating everything. I'm pausing it so you can get it. Okay. And what they do is they take 3 mandarin oranges, they peel them, slice them in half across the segments, slice them
Yeah.
in half. So they got 6 halves. And they take a frying pan and they melt butter in it and they put some evaporated milk in it and they
Oh.
kind of brown it a little bit, and then they put those 6 oranges in, and they make this cake batter. They give you the whole recipe to make this cake batter, and you pour it over the whole works, and you put a lid on the frying pan, and you cook it on top of the
Oh.
stove in the frying pan, and they show at what point pull that lid off, and you just take a spatula around it, loosen it up a little bit,
Yeah.
and they flip that thing over in the frying pan, put the lid back on,
Ooh.
and they just let it cook for a couple of minutes, not even a couple
Yeah.
minutes, to finish the top, to finish baking it through, and then they slide that devil out onto a. Well, they put it on a, you know,
Yeah.
like a cake platter, and
Yeah.
they oh my gosh, I cut my hand and don't even know how. Didn't feel it.
Ouch.
Ouch. It should be ouch, but it's healed. It's not bleeding anymore, but it's a good gouge. Ouch. Don't know where I did it.
Yeah.
But
Ouch.
anyway,
Cut yourself.
they cut that cake like pie pieces and they scoop one off, put it on a plate, and they cut into it, show you the texture.
Yeah.
Like my kid was drooling. He was just drooling. He goes, they didn't put a glaze on it or nothing. But yet you look
Yeah.
at that recipe and oh yeah, that's sweet. It's got to be sweet. And then with the orange in it, oh, I bet you that was. Oh, I told him, yep, go ahead and try it. I said, I'm gonna try it. I love my oranges. I'm gonna try it. The
Yeah, because when I went into the store the other day to get some of the custard donuts, my sister was like, "Gemma, oh my god, they got your favorite donuts into the store." Because I actually went to the store in person. I was like, "Oh, okay," and I've actually got a bit of footage I'm going to put up to so you guys can see. And I was in there for about half an hour. All of a sudden, you hear me saying, "Oh my god, machines!" And all of a sudden, all you hear is beep, 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 beep,
oh
beep, beep. I'm
yeah,
like,
way too many triggers.
trying to do my shopping. I'm like, good God, really? And all you see is my head down on the trolley going, get this, get this, get this, get this. I'm just throwing it in the basket. I'm like, get
Do
out.
what I gotta do and get the hell out of here, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Right now,
yeah.
my sister's like, yep. And the Bluetooth food, it's the web. I might go into a chat. Done.
You know,
That's funny.
that's one thing here too is it's I don't like using the phone for a lot of internet stuff. Um, it's just too small for me. I piss around with it, stumbling all the time.
Yeah, I use my
So I
computer when
come
it's
in
all the
here,
stuff.
sit in the studio, and do it. Where I got the nice big flat screens.
Yeah, I do it on my
But
laptop. I have to order stuff.
but we got now in our community several good places to order delivery and um, local restaurants are
Yeah.
really starting to cater to the delivery. Our Chinese restaurant delivers, and you can order it all online. Don't have to use the phone at all. Well, if you're doing it online on your phone, you can. But if
Yeah.
Domino's, you can order anything on their menu online,
Oh,
have it
yeah.
delivered, and then we've got our local places like this one place, the Pizza Pub, where Cheesehead and I were originally going to go, but we decided nope, Chinese sounds good. but
Oh, yum. Yep.
but the Pizza Pub has a full menu, and you can order anything they've got, and they'll deliver it to your door. The only thing I don't like with Pizza Pub is you can order like a sandwich with French fries,
Yeah.
and you can order like a side of something, like they've got that sampler with the deep fried mushrooms and um, onion rings and deep fried cheese curds and all that mixed together. You order
Yeah.
that. Well, the problem is if you order anything that's got sauces, you're going to get each and everything you ordered. Okay, you're going to get your sandwich in one of these big square styrofoam delivery things. Then you're going to get your French fries in a separate one. Then you're going to get your
Oh,
dessert in
okay.
a separate one. And you're going to get your side order in a separate one. And then you're going to get the sauces for everything, which might be only 4 sauces in little cups like that, in another big
Yeah.
square thing. You got 5 of these big styrofoam boxes for
Yeah.
one meal. And there were times that running Water and I would both order from there. And when they deliver it, Running Water would come walking through the living room, take that stuff into the kitchen, and he's got two huge bags in each hand. 10 of those damn boxes with the food in it. We take it all out of those containers, put it into one container, maybe two, and you got 3 empties. Each of us had 6 of them. Fold them open and stack them together. And then you use the 2 you're using, you open those, put those on those others. Now you got to stack it. 10 of them damn things.
Yeah.
You got to stick in the garbage. That's the only thing I don't like with the pizza pub's delivery. Put my sandwich and fries in the same container. Give me one of those small square little containers with the sauces in it. And give me a small container for my dessert. I don't need this big, huge box for my dessert that fits in one of those small containers. No, they don't get it. Oh, Justin, crawfish. Crawfish.
No, I've never tried it.
Oh my God, I've eaten so many crawfish in my day. I've eaten so many crawfish, I wonder if that gave me cancer. I love my crawfish, man. I used to have to travel to Austin, Texas about 4 times a year. About 4 times a year, because I worked with a software company down there for Native American tribes for accounting systems. And every time I go down there, stay in Austin, there was this awesome Creole restaurant, and I go in there. They had the best deep fried alligator you could get. All these awesome Creole dishes. The gumbo was to die for. But I'd order what they called, I usually had 3 people with me. There'd be 4 or 6 of us. And I'd order what they called the table order of crawfish. And it was about that big around, and the dome was about that high. It was huge. And it sat on this big silver platter. And they'd bring that out, set it in the middle of the table, lift that dome off that thing. And what they did was they filled the dome full of crawfish, put the platter on top of the dome, and then flip it over and bring it out to your table. So when they lifted that dome up, all them crawfish just come pouring out of there, falling off of that big platter. There's so damn many, and you just go hog wild crazy. But I drove people nuts. I'm not a Southerner. Matt says as a silly question to ask a Southerner about crawdads. Well, I'm not a Southerner. I've never lived down south. I've been down south a lot, but I've never lived there. But I'll never forget, we're sitting in I think there was 8 of us at the table, so I ordered 2 of those. And people are taking them. They've never eaten crawdads before. They're taking them. What do I do with this thing? And tell them how you break the tail off of the head. And I would take the tail and put it between my thumb and point finger and squeeze, and the meat would just pop out. Take a bite on it, pull it right out of that shell, and throw the shell away. You got that nice meat, all sweet. And they're all ending up with these piles of the crawfish heads all around. And I go, hey, you guys, don't waste those heads. And they go, what do you mean? The claws are so small, you can't get that meat out of it. I said, no. And I picked one of my heads up and I go, this is what you do. Take my little finger, shove it through the end that had the tail on it.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of stiff kind of shell inside. And it pops through. And you turn your finger a couple times, pull it out, and suck the...
Oh, okay, yeah.
You suck what's in the head out. And it's real sweet. Okay. It's real sweet. And they go, but that's the thing's brains and everything. I said, I don't know what's in there. I never looked. I just know that if you pop that through with your little finger and suck it out, it's awesome. So I'm sitting there eating all their crawdad heads, and some of them are turning green. They're going, that is so disgusting, so gross. I got a big smile on my face. I tell them, that is awesome. That is awesome. Oh, there you go. I don't know how they'll be. I don't. I've never had crawfish bought out of a store. I've always bought them fresh, or I caught my own. I used to put crawdad traps out here in northern Wisconsin. Now our crawdads are some of them are huge. They're like they're the size of large shrimp, and oh, they're
Yeah.
sweet. Oh, they're sweet. Uh, the yeah, Louisiana, yeah, crawdad
Yeah.
heaven down there, in
I've never, I've
Louisiana.
never, I've never had crawfish or anything. The only seafood that I've really eaten is squid or crabs. That's the only
Yeah,
seafood that I've had the chance to eat over here.
I I am so particular when it comes to squid. Uh,
Yeah.
I've had squid that was really good and palatable, but then I've had squid I might as well have thrown a rubber band in my mouth. No flavor, tougher than you can't bite through it, and and you end up swallowing a rubber band. And uh, the I've had less good experience with squid than I had worse, so I kind of avoid squid. Same with
Yeah, I
octopus.
don't.
I
Yeah, I don't eat squid regularly. Crabs more of a favorite over here.
Yeah, I love the crabs. I love the crabs. Soft shell crabs out on the east coast. They take the soft shell blue crab, and it's when they shed their shell and they're soft. They still have a shell on them, but it hasn't hardened yet. It's soft,
Yeah,
and they bread them and deep fry them, and then they eat them on a sandwich. First time I had
yeah.
one, they bring me two of them, two sandwiches. I picked that sandwich up, and the claws are hanging out like this, and that thing's looking at me. I'm like, the hell? Yeah, the hell? What the hell? And my buddy,
Yeah.
he lives. This is out in Delaware, and he says, "What's the matter?" I said, "Look at this damn thing. It's the whole damn crab." And he's looking at me, and he goes, "Yeah, eat him." I said, "But that ain't right." And he goes, "Oh, it is here." And he took a big old bite out of his crab sandwich. I thought, I'll try it. Took a bite. Oh, it tasted fantastic. But there was just
Yeah.
something about that bugger with his arms hanging out, staring at me that made
Yeah,
it a
the
little
crabs
weird.
here are like that. When you buy them, like they're looking at you, and it's just. I remember the first time I tried it, and I was like, I felt really bad. I was like, look at that. I was like, it looks really sad. And my friend said, oh, just eat it, Gemma. I was like, okay. Yeah, Matt, I've
The
had the crab's legs a few times.
Yeah,
So
I love
yeah,
my
I never
crab
crabs.
leg.
Because my nan used to cook them. She used to boil them at home when she had a big house. And I remember one time I go into her kitchen. I was like, "What are you cooking?" She goes, "Nothing." I went, "What are you cooking?" And then all of a sudden, I see these little pincers come out the top of the pan. I'm like,
Yeah,
"What the hell is that?" She was
cooking some
crabs. I was like,
crab.
"What?" And
Uh
the pincers were huge. I was like, "You don't
huh.
expect me to eat that?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh." It
The
scared me.
I love snowshoe crab or snow crab. Snowshoe. The reason I said snowshoe is I saw a snowshoe rabbit out here yesterday, which is a very rare thing to see around here. But snow crab and Alaskan king crab, man, oh my god, I could sit and eat Alaskan king crab all day long. But it's some work eating Alaskan king crab. They're real
Yeah,
spiny to try to break apart, so you're using a nutcracker on them to break the shells, but the meat is
yeah,
to die for. Um, my ex-wife and I probably twice, at least twice a month, we had lobster, snow crab, and king crab all for one meal, at least twice a month. I would steam all the crabs and the lobsters, and I
yeah,
had I had access to get whole lobsters that weighed about a pound a piece, and and I got my king crab and snow crab weren't fresh; they were frozen. I got those from a local supplier too. But um, yeah, that's it. Is the price of crab now? Yeah, it's like Justin's saying,
Yeah, the price of crab
$49
over
a
here is
pound.
quite
Yeah,
expensive.
it's gotten insane. Well, same with lobster too. I mean, these little lobster tails. I mean, they weigh about 6 ounces. They were selling for $10 a piece. Now I see they're eighteen
Wow.
dollars. They're $18 a piece now. Um, and I'm going. I ain't paying $18 for a 6 ounces of lobster. Bullshit. I was buying my whole lobsters, running a pound, pound and a half. I was buying those for $35 a piece, and they were live lobsters. Um,
Yeah.
not anymore. You're going to pay $70 for that same lobster now.
Yeah.
Hey, Woods Runner! Oh, there's my friend. I remember the day when you could buy twin lobster for about $10. Them days is long gone. You're not kidding, brother. You're not kidding. I remember that too. You could get two lobsters for $10. Does anybody remember the lobsters that were in the tube? It was a whole lobster and it was frozen in a tube. And you used to be able to get those for $10 a piece. They were smaller lobsters, about an 8 ounce tail, but you also had another 2 ounces in the claws. And they were $10 a piece and they're
Yeah.
frozen in water in a tube. And oh my God, I'd go and I'd buy 10 or 12 of them, throw them in the freezer. And when the ex-wife would say, I'm in the mood for steak and lobster. Bingo, I got steaks in the freezer. What do you want? Venison, elk, or beef? And
Yeah.
you wanted seafood and steak? I got the lobsters in there too. Yep, yep, yep. The, it is so good to see you, Woods. I mean, oh, it's so good to see you, man. So good to see you. I've been depressed the last couple of days. I had 2 full weeks of no stamina whatsoever. I mean, I could walk out to the street and back, and I'm shot for an hour or two. Um, and I think about Woods, and I pray and hope that your health always stays with you, brother. He loves the outdoors. He's out there doing what I wish to God I could do. And he's in my old neck of the woods. He's in western
Yeah.
Montana. And I
Nice.
love that country. Um, oh yeah, there you go. The When he lived in Massachusetts, he was able to pick out his own life Maine lobsters. Yeah, I've been up there. I've been up there in Mass and or Maine, Mass, Maine, Connecticut, and go to crab shacks and be able to pick my own live lobsters that I could haul home in a tank. But I always, a few times, I'd pick up lobsters at the docks, and then I'd go to a rest area that's got barbecues, and I'd grill
Yeah.
my live lobster out on a barbecue. Uh, the Yeah,
Talking about what
yeah,
you were just said
and you
for a
slow it
second,
down a
you
bit.
said about being a bit down. You could have messaged me, Uncle. You could have hopped onto Facebook and you could have
Oh,
called me. I would have been
it
there
was
to talk to you.
it was yeah. If I thought it was going to last and be an issue, I would have gotten hold of it. I But I knew I'd get over it. It was just a couple of days of knowing
Yeah.
that there's things I had hoped I'd be able to do this spring and summer. There's some
Yeah.
things I'm taking off of the list because I know I won't be able to physically do it. And that was
Okay.
depressing. That was depressing to have
Yeah.
to tick some things off my list. I'm still going to make the best of what I got. Um,
Yeah, of
it's
course.
like it's like splitting all this wood I've got out back here right now today. If I had beautiful sunny weather, dry ground, I could go out there and cut and split wood. I'd last maybe 10 or 15 minutes and I'd be done for most of the day. Um, Turn the clock back 3 months ago, I could have gone out there and spent 4 hours cutting wood, another 4 hours splitting. Now I get 15 minutes. And if it gets any worse, I won't be able to do any of it at all. And there it sits. Brand new wood splitter, all that wood that can be cut, split. And I love that. I love doing it. I love cutting wood. I love splitting wood. I've got this yard to finish, and I think about that.
Yeah.
It's going to be very slow, and I'm hoping I can get the yard done and get the grass seeded so that we've got a nice lawn in this big area that I cleaned up.
Bye, Nicole. See you later.
Hey, Nicole, you have a good one. Love seeing you, Nicole. God, it's nice that you stopped in. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I really wanted to accomplish. But one thing I can do is I did figure that out. Is I can get in the truck and I can drive for hours, and it doesn't wear me out. Doesn't wear me out to drive around for hours, because to me, getting in the truck and driving around is like sitting in my recliner playing PlayStation. It takes the same skills.
Yeah.
So
I think we always need to realize, like you said earlier, sometimes there is certain limitations that we can't do. I need to realize for myself. I still have to realize that generally there is some triggers or limitations that I simply can't deal with, and I need to go just back off, because if I don't, then I'm going to ruin it for myself. So
yeah,
we have to realize we can't do it.
That's the way you're right. I guess what it is just learning to accept those limitations and kind of live around them.
Yeah. I know it's to do with change, and obviously I know me and you we're very strong-headed. We like to do things ourselves. We like to do things when we want to do them, and we don't like being told no. So when someone says to me, "Oh, Jimmy, you can't," I'm like, "Watch me," and I'll push it and push it and push it and prove to the person that I can do it. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, don't tell me no, because I'm going to do exactly the opposite thing to what you said to me.
And that's I really appreciate that character in somebody, because that's what gets you ahead in life, is just not giving up.
Yeah.
Just
we have to all keep going. You've given me a lot of knowledge about things about myself. You've taught me things that I didn't know about myself, and I'm like, comparing myself to now to how I was back when I started YouTube at the very beginning. Oh my God, I was a total nightmare. Whereas now I look back at that and I go, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah. Now you're one of the YouTube masters, for crying out loud. Yeah, you got it mastered now, girl. Yeah.
So it's, we all adapt to changes.
Yeah, some of your troubled times on YouTube actually made you grow, made you stronger. And I loved it. Hey, there's something I gotta do. Everybody that's watching, don't anybody go, I'm watching that count. Don't you run off. This takes 40 seconds is all. I gotta shout out my channel members. These people are awesome. It's not a lot of people that are members. But they're so important to me. They are so important. They keep my YouTube fund seated well enough that, especially when I have to do content this spring and summer, I'll have some revenue to do that. So here's a group of special people. Check their channels out. It only takes 40 seconds. We'll see you right back here. See, I told you that didn't take long, did it? But those are some awesome people. Awesome people. And I have to say,
For sure.
especially the native Kutsa and Samantha, if she's still watching, I got myself a guitar box, a shipping box, that will hold two of the instruments I'm giving to Amanda. Instead of willing them to her and hoping somebody gets them to her, I'm sending those to her well before I'm gone. But I'm looking for some extra things. So I got a box set, 2 instruments will fit in. The third instrument, I'm still looking for the right box for it. But I'm looking for all of the sheet music and instructional manuals
Yeah.
and all my picks and slide bars and everything for those instruments. I'm trying to chase all those down so I can pack them with everything
Yeah.
to flip it out. So I'm working on it, Samantha, and sometime in the next couple of months or so, I'll be getting a hold of you and letting you know when that stuff will be heading out for Alaska. And for native Kutsa. Oh, that girl has been asking for, I think, a couple years now at least, for a hiking stick.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I tried to get into the adventure trailer where I got a few of my hiking sticks stored in there to try to pick out the right one for you. I couldn't get in it. It's just way the hell too damn much snow. I'd have to shovel the snow. And I'm going, no. I'll wait till it melts. It's melting. Yeah, I'll get in there soon. And then the rest of my sticks are in our shed. And I got in the shed. And I went and I looked. Oh, yeah, they're way behind all this stuff that's out front. And every box and bin of stuff between me and those hiking sticks weighs about 35, 40 pounds. So it would take about 5 trips out there just to get to the sticks. That'll happen in the spring also. But you're going to get a hiking stick native Kutsa. No ifs, ands, or buts, and there's going to be a bunch of Sty stickers thrown in with them. I love you, girl. And I'm so sorry it's taken so long. I'm sorry to everybody. Just handling requests and mailings has been, I hate to admit it, it's kind of a nightmare for me.
Nice.
I got to the post office for the first time in 2 weeks, just on Friday, and my mailbox, the Sty North Channel mailbox, was just packed tight. I mean, I was fighting with a lot of a bitch cussing her. And I went up to the postmaster and told her, I said, I appreciate that you put mail in my mailbox, but I said, look, I got 3 letters to my channel, and I got all of that junk. And it was packed in there so damn tight, I had a hell of a time getting to these 3 letters. She said, I'm not allowed to. But she said, I was real tempted to pull everything out of your mailbox and throw regular addressed mail back in and take all that junk and pitch it for you. I said, why aren't you allowed to? Well, no, it's postal regs. And I said, but you have my permission. You have my permission. You can throw all that junk mail out.
Yeah, they throw a lot of junk mail through our mailboxes here. I actually confronted my postman a few days ago and I said, look, I don't want all this. I said, it's overwhelming. I just want my normal mail. That's it, normal mail. And he's like, but. And I'm like, no, I know you can do it. I said, I know you're not meant to. I said, please, I'm begging you. I can't cope with it. He's like, okay. And I explained to him, he's like, oh, okay, I'll put that as an urgency. She wrote down my name, everything. I'm like, please stop putting this junk mail through my door. I don't want it.
Yeah. See, here they're not allowed. You can't opt out. Say, I don't want any of like these local ads and stuff. No. If they're paying bulk, if they're paying
I
bulk,
think I stressed the importance of my autism to him. I was like, look, I'm a disabled woman. I live on my own. He's like, oh, and he looked at me, and I'm like, please, I'm begging you, stop.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't. Oh,
And it
okay.
and if you have a good postmaster, they'll do that for you. That they
Yeah,
may not in their rules they may not supposed to do it, but they'll do it. They're yeah, yeah.
yeah, they'll do it if you push
Once
them.
they
Yeah,
understand the situation, they're usually pretty sympathetic with it. In fact, I renewed my mailbox. It's not due again until June or July. July, the fee on my mailbox, and I went up, renewed it for 6 months, and she goes, "For 6 months? You've always been renewing it for a year for the last 6 years." And well, I figured I should do it 6 months at a time now. She goes, but I thought, she said, I just thought that it was unusual that do you plan on just dropping your mailbox? I said, oh, no, 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 not at all. I said, but I don't see the sense of paying a year at a time because I may not be here. And
yeah,
then it's just a waste of money and time. And,
yeah,
running water will have to check it once every 3 months, until that time runs out. And I said, and she goes, well, what do you mean you won't be here? And she didn't know. And I told her, well, I got terminal cancer. And I don't know. I might be gone in 6 months. I might be gone in 2 years. I don't. It'll
yeah.
be
We do.
within 2 years, but um, it could be sooner. I don't know. And none of us know. And I said, so I'm going to pay for 6 months at a time. She told me, well, no, in fact, it wasn't her that told me. It was one of her postal workers told me, there's a sticker on your mailbox for renewal that the renewal is to go to the postmaster, not be put in your box. So the next visit, I asked her, one of your workers told me there's a sticker on my mailbox on the inside that I can't see that says any renewal
Yeah.
or notices go to you, not in my mailbox. Why is that? She goes, you don't need to. I don't need to renew my mailbox.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
She said,
that's really
she
thoughtful,
said,
I guess.
she said, between you and I, the U.S. Postal Service is picking up your mailbox for you between now and the end. So that's
Oh,
pretty cool.
nice. That's really
That's
nice.
that's not in the postal regs. I looked all over. I got home and I started searching and I looked all over in their regs and it's not in there. They're not allowed to. They're not supposed to do that. I shouldn't say
No.
they're allowed to, but it's not their policy to do that.
Yeah, it's not the
But
policy. Yeah.
she's the postmaster. She runs the show there. It's her choice, and she chose that we're not charging you for your postal mailbox. Uh,
Oh,
oh,
that's really thoughtful.
I'll tell you something that was pretty cool. Is my palliative nurse, which is the cancer care nurse that comes and sees me every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I won't be seeing her now for almost 3 weeks before the next visit, but she sees me twice a month minimum. Well,
Yeah.
she said that because of some of my muscle loss and I have a lot of joint problems because I don't have the muscle structure around my joints anymore, that I have joint pain, quite a bit of joint pain. Um, she said, we can actually improve the muscular structure around those joints and we can relieve a lot of your muscle aches, she said, through therapeutic massage. And
Okay.
I said, are you kidding me? I am not. I said, first of all, where in the hell in this place are you going to find room to give me a massage? She goes, oh no.
Yeah.
He said they got a portable massage table. They just haul it in here, set it up, takes them about 5 minutes. They'll set it up right in your living room between your couch and the TVs, and there you go. I go, yeah, well, okay. And she said, the masseuse that will come and see you is a cancer survivor. And she went through chemo.
Oh.
She went through chemo and radiation. And her chemo was, she went through chemo for 3 years. And now she's cancer free. Cancer free for a year and a half. So she's doing great. She's doing great. But she said she is a licensed therapeutical masseuse and she's a registered nurse. So she said, you're getting the best of the two worlds. You're getting a nurse and a masseuse. And she said, and she's been through it. She knows the pains, the aches and pains that you have from the cancer therapy.
Yeah.
And she knows exactly how to relieve some of those pains. And she said all of our clients that have used her just praise her that she gave them. Usually they said the relief lasts a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I'm going, well, it's starting to sound better, you know. And I said, I don't think I need it right now. And so she said the only issue, it's not covered by Medicare. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I can swing it. And she said, it's $40 a visit. That's what they charge. It's $40 a visit. And it's an hour-long session.
Okay.
I thought $40 an hour, that's not bad, you know. So I'm trying to massage my budget to squeeze in at least one session a month. I think I can do it. I think I can massage that in. I got kind of bad news today when I got online and went to my account with my regular clinic. I used to be on what they called sliding scale, where you pay based on your income.
Okay.
For some reason, they dropped me off the sliding scale. So I got to pay whatever Medicare does. And overnight, I went from owing them $10 to owing them a little over $100 because of that. And now every visit to the doctor is going to cost me about $50. And plus I get charged that $50 to see the doctor, another $50 to get the lab work done. So that tells me I may not be going back to the doctor. It's just, I don't want, first of all, I really, really got to squeeze it into my budget to pay that. I can, but that takes away some quality monies for doing things I want to do, you know. But but then I told pretty quickly. I said, "Well, I'm selling 90% of my camping gear and a ton of my tools. I'll probably come out with a couple of grand in my pocket from that. I guess I can afford to pay that doctor bill." And then I realized, what the hell am I talking about? Those things that I'm selling are so I can go do things before
to enjoy yourself. Yeah.
That's bucket list money to take trips, to go meet other YouTubers, to do things.
Yeah.
And so that added to that couple of days of depression was the idea that I'm going to have to dip into my bucket list money to pay medical shit. And I just it was frustrating, but I'll get around it. I always do. I figure out something. I'll get around it.
But
that's where I said. That's where I said to myself, well, they might be asking for it, but that doesn't mean they're going to get it. Doesn't mean I'm going to pay the bill.
No.
What's worse they could do? Kill me? Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah. They would. They're not going to do me that favor, you know. The,
no.
so I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it anymore. I just, yeah, I gave it up. I'm not going to worry about it, and it's it's gonna it's gonna work out. Everything will work out. Uh,
Yeah,
um,
but I
always does.
guess what I was trying to say is sometimes that's where the community like us can help you because there's things
I
that we
don't,
can help you with.
but I want everybody out there to know I don't expect it. I don't. I, I
No, I
again, it's
know.
still something I can take care of. I can get through. So you know,
Yeah, but sometimes you need a
so
little help. That means people like us are here to help you. That's what we want to do. People we're a family. We help each other. Many of us. When we've had tough situations, or when we've been in a bit of a difficult spot or whatnot, and you've helped me.
I,
And
I see
it's
it this way. There's a lot of channels out there. I had 14 channels that I supported as had memberships. I was a member of their channel, and
yeah,
they ran anywhere from $4.50 a month all the way up to the most expensive one was $36 a month.
youch.
I had to whittle that all the way down to I'm supporting 6 channels right now. That
Yeah.
comes out of my personal income. That doesn't come out of my YouTube income.
Okay.
And so I only pay what I can. I'm not stupid. Here we go with, hey, I'm not stupid. The
Yeah, far from it.
and so I make things. I make things work. I make things work. I always do. Justin
Yeah, I know.
was saying, Justin saying I've been paying on medical bills from last August. Last check I sent got returned. Called about it. She told me it was a zero balance. Not sure what happened. Oh yeah, ain't that nice? Wouldn't that, yeah, ain't that sweet? One thing
I'm
that
quite
was
lucky with
sweet.
medical care.
One thing that was sweet with me is I only owe, as of today, I believe it's $256 to the Mayo Clinic system for
Okay.
all the clinical and my surgery. I only owed $256. They managed to get it down to that. They kept hammering Medicare because Medicare wasn't covering certain things. And they kept hammering
Yeah.
Medicare. Finally got it covered by the insurance. And they got it down to $256. And they said, that's as low as we can get it. And I said, I think it's terrible that I have to pay $256 on a 1 million, get this, $1,096,000 bill. That's what it costs
Whoa.
for me to go through the Mayo Clinic system. One
Ouch.
million $96. I'm not pulling it out, but down here I've got all of the billing statements from the Mayo Clinic,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
back that thick, and it's all detailed costs. You go through it, and it details everything that was charged, all the way through the
Yeah.
1,096,000, and what Medicare paid and what they did, all the way down. It gives me subtotals by categories, and at the end of the day, I owed them over $200,000, and I told them, I said, I can owe it, but you'll never get it. And I don't have any money in my estate, so when I die, you won't get anything. I said, so you're just shit out of luck. I said, maybe you need to try a little harder on pushing some of these costs to Medicare.
Yeah.
And they did. And they did. And I gotta give them credit for that. There's some things negative I have to say about the Mayo hospital system, but I have to say the mail system did their job and got it down to $256 out of $1,096,000. I can't believe that I cost I guess I'm the $1 million man.
Yeah.
that I cost $1 million just for that part of it. That's not I think it's at 497,000 right now for
Wow.
my chemotherapy last year and this year to date. It's
Yeah.
half a million. It'll be by the end of this year, by December of this year, that'll be up to about 650,000. Almost another million just to give me the extra time. And
Yeah.
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to accept. I have
Yeah.
to kind of ignore the issue because when I think about it, that $1.5 million that's been invested in me to keep me alive to now, which has only been, let's see, well, no, it's the end of March. It's the 26th today, right?
Yep.
Guess what? It's been 1 year and 2 days since. Well, actually, it's been exactly a year today that I was diagnosed with that cancer. So, in 1 year, $1.5 million to keep me here for that year. Now, what would $1.5 million do to help some of these struggling families? I mean, some of them don't even know where their next meal is going to come from. Some of them don't know how they're going to pay their next month's mortgage or rent.
Yeah.
How far would that? Give me that $1.5 million and let me fucking die, but let me have that $1.5 million for a week, and I can help. Oh, I can help hundreds of people, hundreds.
Yeah, but think of it this way, you know.
I can't help. I get it. I understand all of it, but I can't help but ask myself, am I really worth $1.5 million?
Absolutely, hell yeah. Absolutely, hell yeah. You're my uncle, like,
I have people tell me,
more than that.
I have people just like you, Gemma, just like you, and they tell me, well, money's not the issue. Money's not the issue.
It's not that at all.
But it is the issue when I look at struggling families.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And I don't see anybody else helping them. And
totally how you feel. Absolutely.
For some stupid reason, they're excluded from all the aid that's available. And that's like the people I helped that one Christmas. I mean, why did I help those people? It was because whether they were working or not, all of them were trying to find work, hard trying to find work, or they were working and they weren't making ends meet, so they skipped Christmas for their kids, for their whole family, skip Christmas to pay those bills. So I gave them the Christmas they were going to do without. And I was thrilled when I found out 2 of those families, the way we helped them out. They became self-supporting, and they're doing awesome even today. Now, that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and these people are doing awesome today. They don't they don't need
Yay.
help with anything. They're doing it all on their own. And the other two families are still struggling a bit, but they're not skipping Christmas anymore. The one gal told the people, because they don't know who I am, the who provided them with
No.
those things, but they went to the people that delivered those things and told them, whoever did this for us, we still had the next two Christmases after that one, because we had the tree and the decorations. We had everything we needed to put together at least the Christmas spirit in our house every Christmas after.
Yeah.
Success. But it was only because, and mind you, I'm talking, it's cost $1.5 million to keep me here today.
Yeah.
And back then, I only spent $1,600. And I made 4 families super ass happy, and 2 of them very successful. So just think what I could do. $1,600. I mean,
Yeah. Think of it
I,
this way
I
from
I could do
you know,
1,000 families with $1.5 million.
yeah, but
And like I said, give me a week, and I could spend it on 1,000 families. I guarantee you.
yeah, think of it this way though. For me, like having you here now for the extra time that you've got and seeing you being able to communicate with you, it's not about the money. It's the time. It's the friendship. It's having the laugh,
I
seeing the
know, I
smiles,
know, I
being
know.
like to me, you're
I
worth more
understand.
than money. It's your company. It's the friendship. It's the when I've taught you in private, and that's important to me.
But
So you say, oh well, I've cost this much. It doesn't matter how much you've cost in the medical system. It matters that you're here. It matters that
eh,
you're talking to me
yeah,
now,
I get it. I
and
get it. I get it. I've had people that had to leave this old world, and I kept saying it ain't enough time. If I could get another day, another week out of them. I understand that. I understand that feeling, and but I also ask myself, if I was given that 1.5 million instead of spending it on all this cancer stuff, the good I could have done with it, what would I have done about
yeah,
shortening my? Well, how would I have dealt with shortening my life? I would have made more out of every single freaking day than I even do now. So it's
mm,
either which way, it's a win-win, I think. But they would never give me that $1.5 million. So that's just
no.
piping. That's like, I'm going to win the lottery. Well, you got to play. Oh, that's right. I got to go buy tickets, right? Yeah. Yeah, if you don't play, you ain't going to win. Um,
it's
but
it's it's also things like as well. I don't think you realise this as well. Like you have a very empowering presence about you. You're very empathetic. You're very headstrong about things that you're passionate about. You know what you're talking about. You have the facts. You have this. You have that. You also have that compassionate side to you. When I know I've been on one-to-one calls with you, or when me and Samantha have been on the phone together, and you have that uncle father figure. Like you're always like, well, what have you done? What have you done this? Have you done this? And I'm like, to us is about you. It's not about us. When we talk to you, we want to know what Uncle's been doing. We want to know about your time, not me. Because for me,
see,
I'm like,
and
don't
that's
tell me. I want to hear about you.
and that's it's kind of funny because I understand that. I hear it from so many people. Um, but I've said it before. I don't think my followers understand how selfish I am, because I'm
Yes.
here because of you guys. You're here because of me, but I guarantee you, I'm here because of you. I if I
Well,
didn't have you,
empathy
if
would.
I did
I'm
not have
I'm
you
very
guys,
stubborn too.
that it. Yeah,
Sty knows how
empty.
stubborn I am.
Yeah.
You should ask Sty how stubborn Gemma is, because when I've been on calls with him, he's like, "Oh, well, Gemma, have you done this?" And I was like, "Well, no, because this," and like we said earlier, you know, I was very stubborn. Like I was misinformed about a lot of things back in the day, and so I thought, "Well, Gemma, think about this way, think about it like this." I'm like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
whereas now I'm less stubborn, but I can still be very stubborn on things. But Gemma doesn't change. I'm like, nope. But now I do change bits. I'm like, oh, but actually, you might not be right on this, Gemma. Go and research. Go and think about it. And then I'm like, oh, I was wrong. Okay. So I'm able to change my mind a bit more. Whereas I was very, very stubborn when I first met.
Yeah.
Nope,
I can
you're
remember.
wrong. Nope.
I can remember a few times where I would tell Gemma, "Get it off your chest. Tell me what what the hell's going on. Just tell me." And she would. She'd vent, have a fit, and I'd let her get it all off her chest.
Yeah.
And then I'd just simply say to her, "Well, maybe you should look at it over this way, or maybe look over at this, and think about that a little bit now that you got it all off your chest." And then the next week we'd chat, and she'd go, "I got this now. I got it now. I did what you said. I looked at this, looked at that, and I know where I'm going now." She changed, but not because I told her she needed to change. I didn't tell her, "You got to do
No.
this, you got to do that." I just asked her, "Now that you got it off your chest, look at this and look at that if you get the chance." And she
Yeah.
did. She had,
Yep.
she took it on her own to just go and
Yep.
work it out, and she did. She did. You guys, I tell you what, Gemma's had a very rocky road, and she made it smooth. I mean,
Yeah.
she
Oh,
has
yeah.
made such a change in her life. It's amazing. It's amazing. Um, the
And that's thanks to people like you, you know. If it wasn't for people like you support me on my channel, I wouldn't be here. You know, I've learned things that I didn't even know were possible about myself, like going to the store and being able to record myself, or going to the campground and filming the camp for you, and going to do things that are outside my comfort zone, like going last year to a music concert. That music concert, I was panicking. I was like,
I
oh
bet.
no.
I
And I was like,
bet.
no, I'm going to do it. Gemma, get over yourself. You're going to be fine. Just do it. And I filmed it, and I shoot people to the ground and the campsite and everything. And my dad's
Yeah.
like, what? He's like, you wouldn't have done this 3, 4, 5 years ago. He goes, there's no
No.
chance. He goes, what's changed?
No.
And it's just, I've seen. So,
Yep.
yeah. It's because of people like you who watch my channel, you know.
Yeah, if a person watches your channel and they go and look at your earliest posts and then come back and look at today, you'll go, "Oh my gosh, that's a different person. She's a whole different person."
I look back at some of my old stuff the other day, and I'm like, I was cringing. I went back about 3, 4 years, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh no."
But you need to leave that up so people can see how far you've come.
Yeah, it's all on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all on there. I sat watching it. I was just like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Now, I got a request from somebody, and they were kind enough. They had emailed this request to me, so it wasn't out there kind of public for people. They were afraid people would beat them up for even suggesting, but they said, "Sty, you've done over 200 stories about your life." And they said, the way they put it was, you just revealed almost all of the shenanigans you ever went through in your life. All of the goofy things you've ever done and experienced.
Yeah.
I told them, I said, yeah, most of it. I kept some of it. Yeah, I still got things that I haven't talked about. And they said, but their point, what they wanted to get across was, they asked me to do a live stream and title it "The Dark Side of Sty." they said, you couldn't have been just a mischievous kind of character that's out getting into shenanigans and stuff. What about your dark side? What have you done in life that you look back on and go, oh boy, that wasn't good. That was bad. I shouldn't have done that. They said, what about that side of you, that part of you? And I said, I responded back. I said, oh my God, I'm not going to live long enough. That's another 200 videos. I said, yeah, there's a dark side to everybody. I mean, we've all done things we've regretted, you know?
Yeah.
And I said,
oh God, yeah.
I've done some real humdingers, and I've been in the presence of others that have done some really kind of cruel and not appropriate kind of things. But he got my gears running in my head. And so the other day, I started making some notes on some of the things in the past that I've done that Sty is probably the least proud of. So that I haven't done Sty stories on. And I thought, I might do that. I chatted back and forth with this person about it, and I told him, I said, the only problem is if I did it as a live stream, I wouldn't want somebody on the panel with me because I would get so distracted from it.
No.
And I'm not one.
Yeah.
I never have and never will disable my chat. But I told him, I said, what's going to be difficult if I do this is managing my chat, because I can just see it going wild on some of the things I'd have to tell you that old Sty, they weren't shenanigans. Sty did some things that he had every intent to do it. And after the fact said, oh shit, that was not good. You don't want people knowing you did that shit. But now, at 66 years old, do you think I give a damn if somebody knows about some of the little dark side of Sty? You know, because there is the dark side. There is a dark side out of 60.
Has a dark side, yeah.
But I told him, I said, the only reason you really got me contemplating on actually doing that is the fact that I can honestly say that literally for the last 30 years, I have done nothing that I am ashamed of. I've done nothing that I regret. I have done nothing that I regret. I've had second thoughts of things that I had done and thought that could have been done a different way. It could have been better, but I don't regret how things turn out in the last 30 years, except for one incident. And that's pretty good. One incident, 30 years where I have no regrets. One incident where I do have a regret out of 30 years. I thought that's a pretty good record. But it's the first 36 years that, oh boy, you think my bucket list has got a lot in it. Oh, my list of the dark side of Sty for the first 36 years, it's pretty full, pretty darn full. Justin, I want to read this. When my grandpa would tell stories of his younger days, grandma would take out the frying pan or the wooden spoon after him. Now that makes me think of, you didn't get to hear a lot of the dark side of. Now my mother, there was no dark side to her. I swear to God, there was.
I think the problem is they don't show it.
Yeah. Now my mother, she had 3 brothers that loved to talk about her when she was growing up, and they would tell us just how things were back in the day. And when they were growing up. I mean, they were born in the 1920s, and
Yeah.
and
Hey,
they
Dr.
said the worst thing they could ever think of when my mother was a child that she ever did was she got caught in the dairy barn. No, 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 no. In that family, women did not belong in the dairy barn, period. They could feed the
Okay.
chickens, they could tend the garden. They couldn't go in the dairy barn or the hog pens. Those were two places women were not even allowed, period. Women were above that. Don't you dare go in there. That's for the grubby boys to go do. You're a girl. You don't belong in there. Well, my mother got caught. My mother got caught in the dairy barn when everybody was gone out of the dairy barn. She snuck in there, was in there playing with the cows, petting the cows. My grandfather caught her father. And I guess it's like her one brother, what my uncle said, oh my God, our farm was hell on earth for about a week.
Yeah.
She was only allowed to leave the house to go to school and back. Otherwise, she wasn't allowed to go
Yeah.
outdoors. And that went on for a month. Yeah, you can do whatever you want in the house, but you're not allowed
Yeah.
outdoors because I can't trust you to stay out of the hog pens or the dairy barn. No, you're not. No, no. So they said that was the worst thing she ever did. The other bad thing they said she did was she had gotten double pneumonia, very sick.
Ooh.
And she was only about 12 or 13 years old. And
Yeah.
and my grandmother and grandfather, because she was having a lot of trouble breathing, they were giving her sips of peppermint schnapps, and that would help her breathing.
Yeah.
Well, after about 2 hours of giving her little sips of peppermint schnapps, she got schnockered. She was drunk.
Yeah.
And out of her 12, 13-year-old mouth, she looked her father right in the face, and he said, little girl, you're going to get better whether you like it or not. And she goes, yeah, and you can just go to hell. Oh, my God. There we go again. Oh, my grandpa, I guess, raised the roof of the house. His daughter told him to go to hell. That ain't happening in any lifetime. That ain't
No.
happening. And I guess it took the whole family, all their neighbors, and the preacher at their local church to get him to accept the fact that those were words out of an intoxicated child. Those weren't her words. That was the alcohol speaking, and you gave it to her. So they put the monkey on his back. So he let her get away with it, but he
Yeah.
was not happy that she told him to go to hell. So that was a dark thing in her life. Other than that, I tell you what, she was a church going woman from day one. She married my father, my father was as wild as you can get back in the late 1930s, early 40s, mid 40s. I saw a picture of him where he rear-ended a truck with his 36 Chevrolet sedan, smashed the front end of his 36 up, and he had broken his neck. And they put him in this neck rack for like 6 months. But had a picture of him standing by that 36 Ford before the wreck. He's wearing
Yeah.
pinstripe. He's wearing a 3-piece pinstripe suit with a tie, wide brim fedora style hat. He looked like Al Capone, for Christ's sake. I mean, he looked like a gangster. And he ended up, his career was the chief of police. I mean, you look at his old pictures when he was kind of kind of trying to lock my mother into a marriage. He was a thug, man. He looked like a thug, and
Yeah,
and he had his dark side to him too. But his career as
yeah, of
chief of
course.
police was spotless. Was spotless. He had no regrets through all of his career. But yeah, uh, there you go, Doctor Smith. It is good to see you, by the way, Doctor Smith. Uh,
Yeah, Doctor, it's always good to see you. Hey, hey.
the ladies were respected in the past. Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, they were lords of the house. Boy, I tell you, they ran the house, and, and she was a firecracker. That I'll tell you what, as
Yeah.
religious as my mother was, and sometimes pious. I mean, oh, that you don't know how many times she'd tell us kids, "You keep that up, you're going straight to hell. You're going to hell. You keep that up." And she'd tell us, "I can't stop you. That's a road you're going to pick. You're going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. But if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to hell." She'd tell you flat out. Well, but but she was a firecracker for being as religious, and she loved everybody. She loved everybody. It didn't matter who you were. She didn't see skin color. I hate that when people say that it's not appropriate to say that you're colorblind to race and that. Oh, yes,
That's
it
ridiculous.
is. Yes, it is. It's appropriate because if you don't see color, you just see people. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
of
Don't try to make
course.
that bad. Don't try to make that bad. And when people say if you're white, you're born racist. Oh, people like that, I don't want
No,
nothing to do with them. I don't even want to talk to them because that's some of the biggest foolishness in the world.
that's just ignorance.
People's behaviors are learned. They're
Yep.
not born with
Yep.
those behaviors. They are learned. So
Yep.
don't blame people just because they were born a certain way. And that goes to what Gemma reminds everybody. If you're born autistic, don't blame them for that. Don't treat them like they're not a person. Don't treat
No,
them
exactly.
like they're they're some oddity or something strange or something. You damn fools. They were born a person with different traits than you have. So get real. Can't you just love people? I mean, give a shit about everybody. You
This
know.
is exactly
Now
the
I don't.
thing.
And you draw the line when they become adults and they choose to be bad people. Now you can say, "I don't respect that person. I don't like that person. I don't
Yeah,
want nothing to do with that
if
person."
we do a bad thing, then yeah, sure.
But but if but if it's a white person or a
And
black
then since
person
we
or a
have done
yellow person or a red person
bad,
that does a bad thing, don't blame all the blacks. Don't blame all the red people. Don't blame all the Asian people. That's what I hate is that bullshit of blaming everybody because you got a bad actor. You know, look at the person, at the individual, and I don't give a shit what their skin color is. I don't care what their skin color is. The I don't give a shit what their disability is. Respect them. They're people, for God's sakes. They're
yeah,
people.
exactly. It's
They
like
they
you
laugh.
mentioned about like people's yeah. It's like you mentioned about people's religion. As you know, Sty had trouble with a local religious group last year
Yeah,
who hounded me for months. It got to a point
wouldn't leave you
where
alone.
wouldn't leave me alone to the point where they would tell me I was going to burn in hell for my disability. They tried to target my nephew, who I had around at the time. They they said about my nephew that I'm an irresponsible person, that I shouldn't have my nephew around my property, and it got to a point where I ended up getting police to forcibly remove them because they literally would stand there for an hour, 2 hours, bang on my door, shouting things. They sent letters through my door. They sent people to my apartment. It
That's
was
insane.
harassment. It was pretty awful.
Oh yeah. See, and that's the thing is they wouldn't do that to somebody like me, except once. They might try, and then I'm out on the porch and I'm throwing their ass right off my porch. I'll walk them right off that
Yeah.
damn. I'll grab them by the scuff of the neck and I'll walk them out to the edge of my property and say, "Now get the fuck off my property. You come back on next time I come out the doors with a baseball bat, son of a bitch. You come here and disrespect me and tell me I'm going to burn in hell. Well, guess what? If I'm going to burn in hell, I'll save you a seat because that's where you're going. Yeah, get the hell out of here. I mean, what the hell is wrong
This made me
with
upset
people?
because they used like a little 9-year-old girl to preach at me, and she literally stood up to like my waist, and this little girl was spouting the most vile stuff I've ever heard. And she's like, "Oh, you chose to be like this, and you could have been different. You could have chose to act different." I was like, "You're a 9-year-old girl preaching at me, who's like that's almost my mid-20s." I'm like, "Are you joking?"
Gemma, you'll probably
What?
appreciate this. This is like, it's just like with crazy Greta. Oh, the world's going to come to an end because of global warming and blah, 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 blah. Who the hell ever made her? Who the hell ever made her an expert on climate? Where's the degree?
Nobody doesn't know anything.
Does she have a? I want to see her background in science and climatology and where's her background? How? Why in the hell does anybody even listen to her? She has no credibility.
Because her parents are doctors. That's why. Both her parents, I think her dad's a scientist, and I think her mum, from what I gather, used to work in some form of nursing before she got disqualified. But yeah, both her parents have been registered doctors.
There you go, Woods Runner.
And the thing is, with Greta, she keeps trying to say that because she's autistic, has the right to say what she does, and I'm like, no, you don't.
It's still okay. She can say whatever she wants, but why is she saying it to the world? Why is she saying it to everybody in the world when nobody in the world's giving her any credibility because she doesn't have the education and the background and experience to talk about what she's talking about shit she doesn't have a clue about. And it's just like even the politicians that turned into these, all of a sudden I'm a climate professional. Bullshit, you're a professional politician that got kicked out of office and you just found something else to jump on, to make a lot of money. I want to talk to the scientists, the people that really know what the hell they're talking about.
I actually made a video on Greta about a year and a bit ago because she made a statement publicly on a YouTube live stream. I think it was at the White House, and she said something about, "Oh, all autistic people should listen to me because I know what's best for us." And I was like, hell no. And I did a reaction video to it. I was like, 1, you don't tell me as an autistic woman what to do. 2, you're not in charge of me. 3, do not speak down to me. I'm a dummy, because I'm not. I said, you are one autistic woman, one of many of us who are, God knows, there's thousands of us out there.
Hundreds of thousands.
Don't speak to me. That's irritating.
That's it. And you can tell she's being used, like Dr. Smith says, as a tool of globalists. That's it. She's just being used. She's being used. And I don't think she understands that. I don't think she understands that because there's some ching in it for her and her parents. They're getting some ching out of this.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing. She get herself so manipulated and confused. And then she's going to come back to the autistic and disability community and be like, "Oh, I need you to help me." Then no, it's too late. You've done damage because now people don't want to know. Right.
Actually, she's setting back the autistic community by doing these things.
Yeah, we're getting
because
the
it
fact
draws
that so
all
well,
this negative
you're
attention.
all like her, and we're like, no, we're not. We're not all like her. We're not all climate change nut jobs. We're not.
Yeah, I, I see, and that again, it comes back to people that do things like this aren't thinking. They say they are, but they are not thinking of other people on a personal level. They're thinking way over
Yeah,
those people. They're not bringing themselves down, saying, you know, what I really need to do is care about that person and that person and that person. I need to actually care about them instead of this one size fits all and you got to listen to what I say. Once you do that, that's bullshit. That's just pure
yeah.
bullshit.
You
That's
stereotype people into one box. Yeah,
yeah, and people that put themselves in a box and then say it's my way or the highway. Period. Well, leave them in the box, and then if I were you, I'd put a bunch of tape around that box so they can't get the hell out because they're that narrow. Let them live in their box, but tape it shut so we don't have to listen to it. Uh, I I've had people attack me and say I'm racist and that I'm prejudiced and all kinds of things, and I used to
what?
get upset about it, but I don't. I just laugh about it. Holy God, you should see my family. I used to brag about it that when I held Christmas, I used to do huge Christmases, and
Yeah,
I'd have I'd have my children show up with all their children, and used to always jokingly, in a sense, brag around town. Yeah, if you want to see something for Christmas, you ought to come past my place. You'll think it's the meeting of the United Nations because of all the flags I got to put out for all of the diverse family I've got. I mean, I've got a grandson that is 50% pure Sicilian blood. I mean, they go back
yeah,
11 generations in Sicily, and he's 50% that. Okay, so that's kind of weird. I've got, what is it, 4 or 5 grandchildren that are Native American. I've got one, two. I've got 2 that are African American. One is 50% pure blood Cameroonian. He actually, if he wanted,
nice.
could go to Cameroon and demand his rightful seat on the Cameroonian Senate. He's considered a prince of Cameroon, even though he's an American citizen.
Hey, off the hook.
Hey, off the hook, great to see you. And and then I have people calling me prejudiced when I have grandchildren that are, I'm not going to go into detail, but are of different persuasions,
No,
not just different colors, but different persuasions, identity
yeah,
issues, and things like that. I have
yeah,
special needs. I have special needs grandchildren. And my kids will tell you it doesn't matter which one of those grandkids come to me. I see nothing but my grandkid. They
yeah.
get the hugs and the loving from Grandpa Sty like any of the other kids. And they get all the backup and support. I might not agree with some of the things they're doing or what they think,
Yeah,
but I still love them as much as I love any one of my grandkids. And I show it.
you do.
I make
Yeah.
sure they know it that I don't have to agree with you,
No, of course you don't. No, you
but
don't have to agree with everything that everyone
but
says. It's
I
just,
can't help myself but love you. I gotta love you. You're just, yeah, you're
yeah,
different. You're different. So what? That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about you and me and our relationship, not
yeah,
your
exactly.
other relationships. I just you and me, and my grandkids know it. They know it. They know that I would never turn them away. I love every one of them. And then
Yeah,
I have somebody call me racist, and I go. I used to get so angry about that because of my diverse family. I don't get angry anymore. I
yeah,
start laughing at them. Are you fucking mad?
No,
Are you insane? They said, you can't help but being racist. You're white.
what? That's
Well, how
that's
the hell do
that's
you know? First of all, how the hell do you know my heritage? Maybe, maybe I've got a great or great great grandfather or grandmother that was African or Asian or Native American. How do you know my genealogy, my background? How do you know what I am and what I am not? It doesn't frickin'
yeah.
matter. Can you show some respect and can we have a good relationship without you having to bring up the color of somebody's skin? That's
It's,
such
it's just
bullshit.
abhorrent and ridiculous.
It is. It's just, and I don't care who is saying it. You know, the they say, "Oh, well, you're just trying. You just do that. You say that so that you'll shut black people up from pointing out how disparaged they are and blah blah blah."
Yeah,
And I tell them, "Oh, well, I can't talk about my relationship with people of every color under the sun and the good relationships I have with those people without you saying I'm racist because of it? Because I'm saying that? The
yeah.
fact of the
That's like
matter is, I have great relationships with people of all colors. And you're trying to tell me I'm only saying that because I'm racist. You can kiss my ass and get the fuck off my dick. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
totally. It's like you're describing a similar video that I did on my channel about what must have been about 3 years ago now. I did a video that was requested, and I said, we're we're all kind of like the X-Men
yeah,
movie people because we've all got different needs, abilities, talents, disabilities,
yeah,
mental health, physical health, whatever. And I said each X-Men has their own special powers. So you've got people who walk through walls, people who mind read, people
yeah,
who do raise eyes or give speeches or can fly helicopters and
yeah,
can
yeah.
have claws now hands and whatever. I said each one of the X-Men characters is different, and each one of them people is someone like ourselves who every day have to face adversity through this society because society doesn't like people being different. They want us to conform. I'm not one of
But
them
what
who conforms. I'm an X-Men. I'm proud of it. I'm different.
what makes the X-Men successful? It's them
Teamwork, friends.
taking all that diversity and not looking at you're odd because you do this or you're odd because you're that way. No, they take all that diversity, meld it together, and what do? They make themselves into this huge,
Yeah,
powerful team of people that
yeah,
don't look at each other differently. They look at them. You look at the X
it's
Men.
family. Yeah,
What are they always doing? They're working with each other based on their personalities, not on their
personalities. Yeah,
powers. It's it's you and I get along good, so we'll fight together. And you use
yeah.
that power, I'll use this power, and we're going to win. That you see all of that going on, and that's the way society should be. It's
B. Yeah,
oh
absolutely.
you people say you got a disability, but you have
Yeah,
this quality I don't have. But I've
yeah,
got this ability that you don't have. But if we put
yeah.
the two of us together, we could make a pretty damn good team, couldn't we?
Absolutely,
People
a
don't
hundred
want
percent.
to do
Yeah,
that shit. Why not?
because people are too judgmental. They like to judge us, and they like to
Yeah,
see the negative rather than seeing the kind efforts. And that's what I preach on my channel. I'm like, hey, how can we work together? I'm all about inclusion. How can I help you to help me? How can I
right,
make it better for you to make it better for me? It's a two-way thing because it's not just about what I go
right,
through. I'm like, hey, this might suck for me, but instead of it sucking for me and sucking for you, how can we come to like a compromise? I guess. How can I make it more easy for you to communicate with me? How can I make it easier for me to communicate with you? And we figured that
right,
out. We're like, oh well, this and this and this works. This works. Oh,
right.
okay.
that, and that's the whole thing is. But I think, and people say, well, yeah, but just turn the clock back a little ways, and it was a lot worse than it is even today. And I tell people all the time, get this now. I was raised in a community that was only 20 minutes from downtown Minneapolis. Very, very large
Yeah.
black population in Minneapolis. Our community was surrounded by a huge lake, huge lake. Now, there's no doubt, it's not stereotyping at all. It's a fact. The folks from the black community
Yeah.
loved to come out to our community to go fishing. They loved it, man. There's no lakes in
Yeah.
downtown Minneapolis. They come out to our community to fish. And the shorelines were covered with folks from Minneapolis. 90% of them black folks. We didn't have a single
Yeah.
black family in our community. Not a single black family. Now, I'm talking about the mid 1960s, early
Yeah.
1960s, in fact. My dad was the chief of police. He never, ever wrote a ticket or arrested a black person in our community in 16 years of him being the chief of police. Never once. None of his
Wow.
officers either. Never once. And on weekends, it was estimated that we would get up to 3,000 African Americans coming into our community to go fishing. Now, 3,000 people coming into a community of 1,800, doubling. There are twice as many people coming in as already are there, but not
Yeah.
one of them charged with a crime. All through the 60s and early 70s. Why is that? It's because even the son of the chief of police, I tell you what, Saturday morning I was up and I was out grabbing my fishing gear out of the garage, and I'm heading down I grabbed my little can of worms and I'm heading down the lakeshore to go fishing. And what am I doing? There's that white kid sitting in the middle of 20 or 30 black folk fishing. And we'd laugh
Yeah.
and carry on, have a good time. And them folk would invite me to have lunch with them. They'd be cooking, they'd barbecue some burgers or something. They'd invite me to have lunch with them. I'd catch a big old dogfish. Well, yeah, well, you ain't gonna eat no damn dogfish. But some of those black folks like that dogfish. They'd smoke it. They put it in a smoker and they'd eat it. Eat, but they
Yeah.
liked them. So I'd catch them. And you weren't allowed to throw them back in the lake. You're supposed to let them die because they're invasive kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd catch a dogfish and I'd just yell out, anybody want this bugger? They come running, yeah. And they kind of squabble over who gets it, But it
Yeah.
was so enjoyable. And I had so many black friends, a teenage and adult black friends, when I was just a little guy, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And I fit in with their community that they came out to our community. I fit in so well
Yeah.
with them, and they didn't see color. I didn't see color. There was nothing weird going on at all. And I wasn't the only kid, the only white kid from the community. You look through that crowd of people fishing that lake, you'd see 3 or 4 black folk and a white kid, 3 or 4 black folk and another white kid. We were outnumbered 3-1, easy. There was never a problem. There was nothing about, you little honky
No.
kid, none of that crap. You never heard people calling them the N-word, none of that going on. And that's
No.
because of the attitude of our community, and that's that people are people. And we all want to be treated with respect. And if we
Yes,
treat each
exactly.
other with
Absolutely.
respect, we can put a smile on our face and have a good time and share our experiences.
Mhm.
We don't have to be negative about everything. We should be
No, not
positive
at
about
all.
things. And we had this one fella, he's a black fella, African American. Every year from 1964 until 1972, he when he came into town, half the damn town would show up. When he came into town, the first thing he would do is he'd go to our diner. We had this big diner off of the lake there. And he'd go to the diner. Well, somebody in town would see his car pulling in, and the phone started ringing. That whole town would find out, he's in town, hurry up, get down to the boat landing. Because he had an amphibious car. One he could drive right into the lake and scoot across the lake. Well, he had a friend that lived out on this island. It was called Enchanted Island, which is kind of cool. There was only one home out there. And this guy was independently wealthy and kind of stayed to himself. But he was friends with that fella. And every spring, he'd show up with this amphibious car. And my dad would go down there with the squad car to do crowd control, just to keep people away so that he could get his car down the boat landing and drive off across the lake. But everybody showed up. Everybody was out there taking pictures and cheering them on. And now keep in mind, he's an African-American, all-white community. And the majority of the community shows up. If you weren't working, you were at the boat landing to watch this guy drive across the lake. Okay. Why would about 1,000 white folk show up to watch this black man drive his car across that lake every single year? It never lost its luster, it never lost its charm. And everybody adored the guy. They thought he was awesome. And the way he launched his car was awesome. He'd get it going down the boat ramp, and you'd see that propeller fire up at the back of the car, and he'd get up on his seat, and he'd sit on the back of the seat, so he's way up. And he'd be waving at everybody on the shore and steering that car down the boat ramp. And he'd hit the water, and off he'd go. He'd sit up there, and he'd wave for the longest time. Sometimes he'd go back and forth along the shoreline, waving at everybody. Then he'd head out to his friend's house. His friend had a nice concrete landing for him to drive right up on to his friend's house. Well, one year, I'll never forget, I think it was 1967, my dad's down there. He's doing crowd control, and here comes this guy, and his name was Leonard. And here comes Leonard with his bright red amphibious car. It was bright red with white convertible top, white and red interior. It was a beautiful little car. And here he comes. He's heading down the boat ramp. Everybody's so thrilled. Yay, Leonard. Yay. Cool. Awesome. Have a good trip. Oh, we lost Gemma. And what happened? Leonard goes, as usual, gets to the bottom of the boat ramp, into the water, and he's heading out there. He gets about maybe 100 yards off the shoreline, off from the landing. And all of a sudden he turns that car around and he's coming back. And all the way back to shore, you can hear him. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That's what he just kept yelling was, oh, Jesus. Everybody was shocked. What in the world is going on with Leonard? What's going on? And then we realized, all of a sudden, water's kind of piling up against the front of the car, and we're noticing that car's sinking. It's sinking. And he's got it gunned, and he's trying to get to that boat lane. That car didn't go through the water very fast. But he's got the throttle wide open. He's trying to get to the shore. He made it to the boat landing. Everybody just went nuts, cheering and screaming and hollering. They run down. A bunch of men ran down, and they're helping push that car up the boat lane because it barely had the power. It was full of water. It was only about that far down from the tops of the doors. If it would have gone any farther down, the water would have come in and sank it right there. He was that close to sinking that car. his pants only got wet up to the knees because he was sitting up on the top of the back of the seat. That was amazing. That was amazing. There wasn't a single African American present at the time to help him push that car out of the water. So all of these men that ran down there and helped him save his car. It was kind of funny because the drain plug wasn't that big. It took almost an hour for that car to finish draining all the water out of it. But all these white guys from that community ran down there and helped him save his car. He was pretty nervous about taking his car across. He had forgot to put the drain plug back in, and he was pretty nervous about it. And he's had another friend that lived in town, and he said, I'm going to stay with him for the night. Then I'll head back out tomorrow morning. I'll never forget that year. The local diner served him anything he wanted off the menu for lunch on the house. A local club said, come on down. Anything off the menu for dinner, it's on the house. Everybody treated him like $1 million. And he had a good night. The next morning, half the damn town showed up again. And he made his second attempt, and it went fine. It was so cool to see he's halfway across that big bay and that lake. And you could barely see him. The car looked tiny out there. And everybody's, yes, he's going to make it. He's going to make it. And then way out on that island, you could see that little car go up the boat ramp onto the shore. And it was just like, yes, everybody cheered. Why was that? Our community, I don't know about others, but our community loved people. We loved people. We were raised that way and taught, judge the person, not the color of their skin. Judge the person. And don't judge the differences until you find out what those differences really are. Are they differences that we can live with? They may be differences that we don't. Wait a minute. I got to have a good week, Sty. Let me know if you want some more sausage. Need to order some for myself. Take care. I'll tell you what, brother. If you ever send me sausage again, send a single stick. 2 sticks. I was stuffed. I was so stuffed with that sausage. And my palliative nurse and my doctor told me, Sty, you can't live on sausage alone. We want you to eat other foods. I said, well, I eat cheese with it. And they said, no. We want you eating some other regular meals, because it was no kidding. I'm not kidding anybody. I would say a good 3 weeks. I ate nothing but sausage. That's what I ate every day. I love McIntosh sausage. I fry it and just eat it nice and crispy fried. Oh, just oily and just all the flavors. Just will kill you. Cut a nice big chunk off and just eat that chunk. Oh. Slice it up and I mean, I've got a chunk about that big. I'd say about 8 inches long in the freezer. That's what I got left. Yeah. And the doctor allows it, just not for every meal every day like I did when the 2 sticks showed up. Hey, there you go. There you go. The Hollywood sausage diet has a ring to it. No shit. I agree. But I tell you what, I love that sausage. I love it. I just then slice a bunch of it, sit there and eat it with cheese curds, and oh my God, just pure heaven. I shouldn't even be talking about it because I'm going to go out. I'm going to go in that damn kitchen. I'm going to have my spicy orange chicken for dinner tonight. But if I take that stick that I have in there out, it'll be thawed out for me by tomorrow afternoon, just perfect. Guess I'm going to have to. Dr. Smith, oh, cheese curds. That's another thing. My daughter is going to be coming up this way. I should probably have her pick me up some fresh curds from Ellsworth Cream Dairy down there in Ellsworth, Wisconsin, which Ellsworth is maybe 10, 15 minutes from her. So she can go right to the plant, buy them fresh. I mean, they bag them right there in front of you for crying out loud. Ooh, cheese curds are good too. And I like getting I like the ranch. I like the taco ones. I tried the pizza ones, but the pizza ones, for me to really enjoy them, I got to put sliced, put a layer of cheese curds, sliced pepperoni on top of it, another layer of cheese curds, then I pour marinara sauce or pizza sauce on top of that. Then I microwave it for about a minute and a half. Pull them out, and the cheese curds are just soft and stretchy. And the meat is hot, and the oils that mix with the cheese curd oils, and the sauce has worked its way all the way down through it. And it's like a pizza without crust. Oh my God. That's to die for. That's the only way I can eat the pizza ones. But their garlic and their ranch, to me, are the best. Dr. Smith, I'm sorry. He goes, oh my God, I'm drooling. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ain't that terrible? Ain't it terrible? That's the one thing they told me with my chemotherapy, to be prepared. My ex-wife went through it. They said you're going to lose your appetite. You're going to have to force yourself to eat. It's not that you can't eat. You just aren't going to feel like it. You're going to have to force yourself to make sure that you get enough calories per day. And they said it's going to be tough because you also, it's in the top 5 side effects, you're going to lose your taste buds. Food will not taste right. It's not going to taste the same. It's going to taste off. They said, so you're going to have to be real disciplined to make sure to eat enough. You know what that chemotherapy did to me? Oh my God. My appetite is, I'm voracious. I got to eat. I love my food. I got to eat. These live streams are nice because it forces me to take a break from just sitting there stuffing my face constantly. I sit there trying to play PlayStation with sticky fingers because I'm eating shit all the time, and I'm cleaning my controller all the time. So I told the doctor, no, it didn't affect my appetite at all. I'm voracious. I just love my food. I want to eat. I said, and the taste bud thing, it does affect your taste buds. The way it affected mine, oh my God. I can be cooking something and I can taste it. The smell of it, I can taste. And when I actually eat, the flavors, they just pop. Oh, they're excellent. I haven't eaten a single, I ate a banana like 2 days after my chemo, and I sat there in shock. My first bite of banana, and I'm like, I haven't tasted such sweet, awesome banana flavor, I don't think forever. And I loved that whole banana. So I had another one. I had a banana the next day, just as good as the day before. I've never had bananas taste so good. So I thought, well, the next bunch of bananas I get, maybe it was just that bunch. Nope. Those bananas were just as good as the others. So my taste buds improved. My appetite improved. And my doctor said, that isn't even possible. He said, get this, man. 8 out of 10 people lose their appetite and their taste buds on that chemo. I said, the good Lord wasn't going to take that away from me. He wanted to make sure that I could eat when I wanted to eat and that everything tasted like heaven. So I feel bad for those that have to suffer that kind of side effect. Thank God I don't. I did get some bad news the other day. It's kind of letting the cat out of the bag to the family out there because I think they know, but I think they were asked to keep it from me, that I wouldn't know. But I got wind of it that my ex-wife, her cancer treatment was such a success. She had cancer of the lung, liver, and colon. She was cancer-free several months ago. Her treatment, her chemo and radiation worked. Those spots of cancer just disappeared. Well, I found out it came back. Her original bout with cancer, she had a spot on her liver, a couple of polyps at her colon. They found out later they were actually outside of her colon, not inside the colon. So they were surprised they didn't even have to surgically remove those. They disappeared from the therapy. Same with the spot on her liver, it disappeared. However, she had 2 spots on her lung. Those disappeared. Now it came back. It reared its ugly head. And I feel terribly bad for her. She's my ex-wife, but it doesn't mean I don't care. She's got 5 very pronounced spots on her lungs. It is back, and as they said, with a vengeance, it's coming back fast and strong. So she's kind of in the same boat I'm in. It sounds like they gave her the same prognosis they gave me. 6 months to 2 years if she goes through the treatment. So she goes back on her chemo, I think a week from Thursday of this coming week. The week after, she'll probably be going back on her chemo. Doesn't sound like they're going to put her on a pump right away. So I'm not sure. I don't know the details enough. But so that's a sad moment that I thought she was going to survive it, that she was going to beat it. She's 65 years old. She's 64 years old. I take that back. She's 64. I'm just turned 66. In December, she turns 65, and I'll still be 66. So there's only a year between us, right? But then in February, I turned 67. Then we're back to 2 years between us. So we're 18 months or so within each other's age. I was hoping that she would have a longer life, and I hope she can beat it again. Beat it once, beat it twice. That would be more than fair and more than nice. Mine isn't being beat. They're going to do a CT scan on me here in the next, I guess, few weeks or so. The chemo I'm on, they can only run for 4 months. Otherwise, it'll attack my healthy organs. There is a chemo that I'm taking right now. There's 2 chemo. I'm taking 3 different chemos. The one they got to stop within 4 months. They said usually people don't make it past 3, but they said my tolerance level seems to be pretty damn strong. So they're expecting they can get a full 4 months out of it. And then I'm down to the 2 chemos. It's not that I quit getting chemo. I just lose one of them. And it's all to keep me going. It's all to keep me going. Not to cure me. I don't believe it can cure me. And we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes from there. Um, yeah, I'm just I'm just a player on the chessboard, dodging and weaving, hoping that I don't get taken out sooner than need be. But I don't think we're going to win the chess game. But the longer I can strategically move my piece along the board, we'll be good. We'll be good. Um, yeah, RSO. Yeah, yeah. Um, I've got right now. I'm not really looking at any alternatives other than CBD oil, um, and a little bit of dupe. Um, the I I don't promote 420, but for medicinal reasons, yeah, I'm good with it. For one thing, CBD oil, what it does is it relaxes and deadens nerve endings. It's great for the neuropathy in my feet and hands. So I've got some CBD oil I'm getting, and then the little bit of weed. I can get edibles or I can smoke a little. Um, but I got a certain individual that's going to provide it for me. I'm not going to get any details or anything. But it's a person that totally caught me off guard. And what are they going to do? Arrest me? Sentence me? I'd actually love to stand in front of the judge and say, "Watch this, Your Honor." And I'd pull my shirt off right there in court. Tell them, "Look at this shit." Imagine what kind of pain that causes. And I'm doing anything and everything I can do to manage it. I don't give a shit if it's legal or not. If you want to help save misery in people like me, legalize it medicinally at least, if not recreationally. Um, so that's the name of the game. On we go. And as you can tell, Sty can still put a smile on his face. You're damn right. I'll smile no matter how bad it gets. What else can you do? Smile feels good. It just feels good to smile. Yeah. So all of you just keep smiling out there, would you? We're going to wrap this up. 3 hours into it today. I got to go prepare my spicy orange chicken and have myself a nice dinner. And I think I'm going to take an evening nap. What the hell? Eat a good meal, filling meal, kick back and nap for an hour. I think so. I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. But remember, everybody, Sty loves you. I will not do anything in my power. I will not do anything to disappoint you. I will be back next Sunday, same time, same place, Sty Shack. You guys come to the Sty Shack. If you want to see Sty, you know where to find him at the Sty Shack. So 2 p.m. Central Time next Sunday. Hope to see you all there. Native Kutsa, Dr. Smith out there in the chat still. Love you guys. I love all of you. You make my day. You make my week. You make my week. And Dr. Smith says, "I'll be here." I doesn't surprise me. Love you guys. And with that, guess what? Sty. This chemo ain't knocked the wind out of my sails enough to get me to quit dancing with the girl in the fur coat out on my front porch. I'm going to run on out there, do a little shuffle with her, and I'll see you all next Sunday. Matt J., you have a great week. Much love to you too. And Justin Anderson, you take very good care of yourself, Justin. All right, folks, that's it for this week. Love y'all. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.